Attention soccer fans, North Carolina FC invites you to be part of the excitement. Join us in our electrifying games with top-tier players, thrilling goals, and unforgettable moments. Experience the thrill of this beautiful game with North Carolina FC. Get your tickets now, northcarolinafc.com.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items like the self-leveling green laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect Pass-Through Socket Set for $49.98, which you can only find at Lowe's. Shop Klein Tools in-store and online today, because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
Adam Gold here from my man, Coach Pete D'Arruda, Capital Financial Advisory Group in Apex. We call him Coach Pete D'Arruda for a reason, because he has a game plan for your retirement. We could call him the Exterminator because he can exterminate those financial termites in your retirement planning. What are financial termites? It's things that eat away at the foundation of your retirement planning. That's what they are. Just like termites eat away at the foundation of your house. You don't want those, so you don't want them in your finances either. Coach Pete D'Arruda can help. All you got to do is text Adam to 600-700 or call 888-843-0013. We're going to get you in front of Coach Pete so he can exterminate your financial termites, and he can set you up with a total customized retirement plan for your retirement so you can get to retirement with everything you need to live the life you want to live. 888-843-0013 or text Adam to 600-700. Total customized retirement plan, no financial termites. Coach Pete D'Arruda. Call today.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Shoots, he scores!
Go to GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Pretty nice afternoon out there. Still a bit on the warm side, but not quite as hot as yesterday. We'll see highs in the mid-80s. This evening, a few scattered storms are likely. We'll see an overnight low of 62. And then tomorrow's slightly cooler with highs in the low 80s. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 186 points to 37,921. Market update brought to you by Habitat for Humanity Restore. Now selling brand new solid wood custom cabinets. Learn more at trianglerestores.org.
Love guarded by Keels. Gets a screen. Pulls up for three. Got it! Caleb from straight away.
Jones with one. Jones puts it up at the buzzer. Yes!
He ties the game!
Joining with a long rebound. Kicks ahead to Smith. 3-ball right side.
Bang!
Shotgun snap. Bryce Young. Pressure off the backside. Throw to the end zone. Chark pulls it in with his fingertips.
And another chance. And the save's made by Anderson. And the fans will tell you, did you have a good night?
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox here as well. Islanders, listen up. You better bring it, because the Canes are coming for you. Actually, you're coming to the Canes, I should say. Home ice, Carolina Hurricanes, New York Islanders, first round, be there or be square. People still say that.
Let's go.
Is be square still an insult?
Yeah.
Be there or be square. Canes are playing the Islanders. And the Canes are all in on the postseason. We'll talk about it later, but they've pretty much pulled the starters for tonight's game against Columbus, because it's all eyes on the Islanders. I'm going to say this. We're going to talk about the Islanders. We're going to talk about them. We're going to break it down. We're going to look at the matchup, the history. There's from a storytelling perspective, this is a fantastic matchup. From somebody that covers the team, there's going to be different angles to talk about. It's going to be great. The competitor in me that has watched the Canes all season, I want to make this the very first point I make now that I know who they're going to be playing in the first round. I don't care who it is. Mow them down.
Bring it.
That's the energy the Canes have. Mow them down. I don't care. I've said this before. I don't care if they are the intergalactic all-stars from Mars. If they are on the ice with the Carolina Hurricanes this year, they should be nothing but a speed bump in their vision. Run them down, mow them down, run them over. It is cup or bust. This is a team that doesn't make the all-in move at the trade deadline, that made the all-in move at the trade deadline. This is a team that values term, values longevity, values locking players up with a whole mess of players due to have their contract expire this offseason. This is the one where you look around and go, I don't know if I'm going to be here next year. I don't know if you're going to be here next year. It doesn't matter because this year is the postseason we go all in. This year is the postseason we find a way. And Islanders, sorry. That's the way the cookie crumbles. You happen to be first up on our list. Mow them down.
That's for the Islanders.
Appropriate.
Yep.
Canes fans, get in PNC and mow them down. It's all hands on deck for this thing, right? Make no mistake about it. Last week, at the end of the week, we were asking for players to call out. Jack Drury was on our list. Right now, I know he was playing up kind of with the second unit at the time, but we were treating him as if, like, hey, if that fourth lineup is out there, that fourth line is out there, score. Right? All hands on deck for this run. The matchup, it matters for game plan point of view, for storytelling, for how do you want to attack them, but they don't matter for the end result. The end result is you better blow them out. Canes beat them 4-2 in the first round last year. The previous matchup was a sweep in the second round back in the magical run for the Canes to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2018-2019. So there's some history here.
Oh, yeah.
There's a good chance that the matchups against the Canes were circled for the Islanders after last season in the same way that the Canes probably circled the matchups against the Panthers, the Florida Panthers this year. There's, you start playing the same team in the postseason multiple times in a couple years, you start to build up that animosity. I'm here for it. Do it again. From an actual, down into the nitty-gritty of it, I think it's fascinating how their attack is built. The Islanders have very obvious setup and finishers. They have setup guys, they have finishers, unlike the Canes, who kind of ask everybody to do a little bit of everything. Matt Barzal and defenseman Noah Hobson, that's a center and a defenseman for the Islanders, lead their team in points. They have 80 and 70 points. Very good seasons. They combine for just 33 goals. These are assist men. These are setup guys. These are finding their teammates in great positions and feeding them the puck. They have two centers, Horvat and Nelson. They don't have as many points. They're not leading the team in points, but they each have 33 goals by themselves. So they tie the top 2 point scorers in goals individually. Mm-hmm. Those are the finishers. Look at the Canes. They ask everyone to do everything, right? Aho and Jarvis, they lead in points. They lead in goals. They lead in assists. And once Gensel showed up, a lot of that, he'll be the third amigo, the third musketeer in that one. This is a matchup where I believe the Canes' defensive system should be able to do what they do because in a lot of ways the Islanders are a bit predictable, right? You know what each of them is looking to do. Now, they're good at it, don't get me wrong. But it's if you give me the Canes defensive system with a scouting report that they can trust, right? Not we think this is what they're going to want to do, but this is what they want to do. I really like their chances there. And then you just have to convert on the other end, and you do have to bring up Sorokin's pretty good.
Yeah, Ilya Sorokin could steal you a game.
He's,
without a doubt, that dude can steal you a game.
And you have to beat him.
Or two.
There's not going to be freebies. You have to beat him, which is why – you ready for this?
Go on.
That's why Gensel's here.
Yeah.
right?
That's why Gensel is here, 100%.
That's the whole reason you made the move, is because when there's not freebies and you need a well-timed goal, you now have that first line which you trust, right? When you're down 2-1, there's 4 minutes left, and you know you need one to force the issue. That first line has to be trusted, and they don't have the, giant presence sit themselves in front of the net. They can do some of that, but they don't necessarily have that. They beat you with finesse, movement, and hockey IQ. Gensel, Aho, Jarvis, that group is the one you're going to trust. That's why you brought Gensel in. That line right there. And that's why you're not going to see any of those three tonight. That's why you're not going to see a whole mess of guys tonight. They've completely changed over their lineup. They're flying guys in from all over the country in order to play them tonight in Columbus. Here's Rod Brindamore on the reasoning for the lineup changes.
We were hoping to be playing for something special here tonight. It obviously didn't work that way. So now you do have to switch gears, and, obviously that's why we're putting some of our guys out. Just to mitigate any type of injury and stuff. So, it's a weird game to play, to be quite honest. But like you said, I think the storyline is we get exciting with some of the young players we're putting in.
Do you know what I think this is? Nonverbal communication, right? Speak with your actions, not your words. This is Rod Brindamore looking at his players in the eye, doing that pacing walk around the locker room that he does after games. If you watch the Canes social media, right, with all the horns replacing the words that you can't promote, when he's doing the pace, he's looking at his team in the eye, and he's saying this: "You're ready, right? You're ready. We don't need another rehearsal. We don't need another practice. We don't need to get out there and finally tune some things against the worst team in the NHL. You're postseason ready. You're on a 5-game win streak. You've won ugly. You've won pretty. Your top dogs are playing like top dogs. It's the little popper is popped in the turkey. You're ready. You're done. Now go to the postseason knowing you have every bit of confidence in yourselves that you've done the work, you've done what a regular season is designed to do, and all that's left to do is go capitalize it on the postseason. That's what not playing all of the quote unquote studs, the top dogs in the last game means. It means we don't need it. Let's let the young guys get some run. Let's see if our first round draft pick can't score a goal, because what you've done is enough. Actions speak louder than words. Islanders, you better get ready. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You all better get ready to hear about my partners at Miller Lending, and of course that means Gordon Miller. You may hear somewhere else, our rates are lower than Miller's rates, but that's like an airline telling you their ticket is cheaper without telling you that there's a fee to use the bathrooms, there's a fee for your carry-on bag, and a fee for your checked bag if you try to avoid the carry-on bag fee, a fee to not be packed underneath the plane with the luggage. I'm not talking about your luggage. I'm talking about you. There's a fee if you want to have a window seat. There's a fee if you want to not have a window seat. Fee for water, fee for soda, fee for everything. And then by the end, you add it all up. You're like, well, I don't want the 36-hour layover in Denver, so I'll pay that fee. I do want to be able to, walk off the plane with everybody else. I'll pay that fee. You paid way more, right? The fees, the costs, the hidden fees, they add up and they make your price way more expensive than is advertised. Miller, no costs, no fees. Zero means zero. It's that simple. Give them a call, 919-447-3377 if you're looking for a mortgage, a refinance, or anything along those lines. You can also visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2502146. We'll take a break. When we come back, 7 shows, 7 episodes of The Drive until we are at the NFL Draft. We look at the Panthers' edge rushers and if they might go ahead and pull the trigger on the draft on bringing another in. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Robert in Raleigh, listening on 99.9 The Fan. What's up, Robert?
I got to go leftovers, macaroni and cheese. Michelle, I know you don't eat leftovers. My wife grew up eating leftovers. She'll bake a peach pie from scratch, have one piece, and then it's old. And I've heard you talking about where the best pizza is from. If you've not had Pepe's, Sally's, or Modern Pizza, they're all right there in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yep. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Deals are happening at John Heister Chevrolet on brand new 2024 vehicles, like $2,500 off a Colorado, $4,000 off the Silverado 2500 Custom, or $6,000 off a Silverado 2500 High Country. With a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in, get up to $5,500 off an Equinox LT, up to $7,000 off a Blazer RS, or up to $9,000 off the Silverado RST. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Varina. Together, let's drive.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every goal, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a game-winning goal in the final seconds of overtime or a shot on goal in the first period. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
At WakeMed MyCare 365, we deliver convenience others only talk about. Every day of the year. Primary care and urgent care under one roof. Multiple locations, virtual visits, walk-in or schedule an appointment online. From annual physicals and routine care to sinus infection, strep, or the flu, we couldn't be more convenient. Learn more about our kind of care and our kind of convenience at wakemed.org.
What are you doing?
I'm training for the new Ultimate Dash Scratch-Offs. I could get a chance to dash through a warehouse full of prizes.
That explains the shopping cart.
Plus, I could win up to $2 million in cash.
And that explains the tuxedo.
I'm chafing.
Feel the rush with new Ultimate Dash Scratch-Offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.78. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
April is here, and if your windows won't open for fresh air or seal tight to keep out pollen and bugs, then talk to Window Nation right now. For every 2 windows you buy, you'll get 2 free. There's no limit to how much you could save. Plus, you could save even more with no interest or payments for 24 months. With proven quality, you'll get affordable windows that meet or beat the national brands. Don't miss out. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. And 6-1, visit staples.com/print for details.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Single-digit days until the NFL draft.
I love the draft.
Double-digit days until the Panthers make a pick.
Well,
but
yes.
But single-digit days to the beginning of the draft. 9 days, 7 shows. We have 7 episodes of The Drive with Tim Donnelly until the NFL draft starts up. We're going day by day.
Seven.
I love Chappelle. The Chappelle show, it was a special moment in time. 7 shows, we're going position by position, looking at what they've done this offseason and kind of previewing what could happen during the draft for each position. And today, we are moving just a half step out from where we were yesterday. We were interior defensive line. Now we're edge rushers. Maybe more than a half step. A couple yards. Edge rushers. Here's what I have to say about the edge rushers for the Carolina Panthers. The Canes know the Canes. Rewind. The Panthers know that they look dumb if their edge rushers don't get to the quarterback this year. DJ Wanham and Jadeveon Clowney, their 2 free agent acquisitions, have to get to the quarterback. Do you know why? Because the Panthers moved on from Brian Burns. And they didn't even get a first-round pick back. If you move on from Brian Burns, you're saying we can find that production elsewhere. We don't have to give him $30 million a year. We can find it somewhere else. Then they brought in Wanham. They brought on Clowney. So those 2 are part of the group that has to get it done. And they are the headliners. Right? I use Gladys Knight and the Pips as kind of an example. This is Wanham, Clowney, and the Pips. The next most accomplished or biggest name edge rusher on the team, K'Lavon Chaisson. He is a former first-rounder by the Jags. You want to hear some stats? He has 5 sacks in 4 years. He's averaging a good 1.25 sacks a year. Amari Barno still around. DJ Johnson, should we go down how that pick has worked out?
Don't get me started.
Leota, not a lot of depth. Not much depth. So guess what? If you have a position that is as important as edge rusher, that you made as bold a stance on in this postseason, like moving on from Brian Burns, and there's a draft coming up, guess what? I can connect dots, right? Guess what that tells me?
What's that?
They're going to draft one. They're going to draft one, and they're probably going to look for a veteran after the draft in addition to it. But here's the thing. If the right guy is there in the second round, it's not a bad pick. I know there's a lot of talk about you need to get a wide receiver, and I do think they need to get a wide receiver. Mm-hmm. A lot of talk about some other positions, centers, corners. I hear you. If there's somebody you have a first-round edge rusher grade on, and they're available at 33, that's never a bad pick. Never. And I would tell teams that are calling to trade up, say, listen, there's somebody we want here. If you want to trade up to 33, you have to make it worth our while because there's a position of premium that we could take right now, and it will never be a bad pick. Never. Same is true for 39. They have picked 33 and 39 in the second round, 2 top 10 in the second round picks. I wouldn't say that they should. I mean, they shouldn't take both, right? They shouldn't be 2 edge rushers. But if they evaluate someone highly and he's available there, you can take one of them. Especially if this wide receiver class is as deep as everybody says it is. They have high rankings on them, and there's 4 or 5 of them available when they're picking at 33. You can be confident one might be there at 39, and you can take your edge rusher at 33. You will not hear me complain about that pick. Think about everything that everybody said about why they had to pay Brian Burns. Because the position is that important, because it is a passing league, because one of the few ways to get a team off schedule, meaning into 3rd and long, into basically positions where a defense has the advantage, is by getting the quarterback on the ground with a sack. It's becoming more important. It's more difficult to guard downfield. The rules are constantly making it more difficult on defensive backs. And the only way sometimes to help those defensive backs is make them guard for 2.5 seconds rather than 3.5 seconds. If Brian Burns up there with a very talented defensive line in New York with the Giants starts making some plays, the Panthers know they're going to have to make plays of their own or else, they're going to be wearing a dunce cap. I would not be surprised if despite all of the, you need this position, you need that position, you need this position, the Panthers simply go best player available if that best player is an edge rusher and then look at everybody else and say we couldn't pass on him. I will not complain about that. If you go best player available and take like a running back or an off-ball middle linebacker or a center, sometimes you will hear me go, I don't care if that's the best player available. You need to think positional importance. Mm-hmm. If there is a best player available at edge rusher, you will not hear me complain, even if I think the roster has bigger gaps elsewhere. They'll draft one, so be ready. I would say I'd be very surprised if they go through day 2 and don't leave with an edge rusher of some kind. Very surprised. Now you could say, right, the money and the picks, like one of those second-round picks they got back for Brian Burns, if you solve that problem there, then you come out actually winning the trade, right? Then you've saved a ton of money. You spent it on the offensive line. You've bolstered another part of your roster. If you're still getting, 7-8 sacks from whoever else you can pick up there, plus, if Jadeveon Clowney finally lives up to all of his physical potential at this stage in his career, be an interesting step up.
It would.
If he has his first double-digit sack season, then all of a sudden Dan Morgan, put those sunglasses on and go walking around like a cool guy. Him and Dave Canales, with all that gel in their hair, go around looking like a cool guy.
I have a stat for you from last season.
I love stats.
So to provide a little context here, in terms of total number of sacks, the Carolina Panthers were not very high across the league. Granted, provide some context. They were trailing in a lot of games and teams were running the football, so the opportunity to get sacks was not as high. So you go to what's a stat they have called sack percentage. So number of dropbacks versus now at times you actually get a sack. Carolina Panthers were 31st in the NFL in sack percentage last year. So just over 5% of the opposing team's dropbacks, they got a sack. So, for example, if the opposing team dropped back 40 times in a game, 40 times to throw the football, the Panthers would have gotten just 2 sacks of those 40 dropbacks. That's it.
And that was with Brian Burns.
That was with Brian Burns.
But I'll also say this. Defensive players feast on passing situations.
Sure.
When the offense helps you get up by double figures and now the other team has to try to throw their way back into it, and they're going to drop back. I've used this stat a ton, and it's like I use it because it's comical but also true. The Panthers led for 0 plays in the fourth quarter last year. They had 2 wins, but they both came on game-winning field goals, which means zero games was the other team in a fourth quarter we have to throw to get back in this situation, which makes it very difficult for defenses to keep up the sack numbers because they can't pin their ears back and go, I know you got to throw it.
By the way, the Panthers last season only had 1 strip sack. So when you sack the quarterback, you also force a fumble. They only had 1. It was on the 3rd play of the first game.
Was that game 1?
It was 3rd play of the first game. Brian Burns strip sack Desmond Ridder, and Ridder fell on the football. That's the only time all season it happened.
That's why you draft an edge rusher.
That's why you got to upgrade there.
That's why you draft an edge rusher. They're going to draft one. Where and who? That'll be hashed out in the war room, but they will draft an edge rusher. 7 days, 7 shows, 9 days until the NFL draft. We'll continue to count down.
Seven.
Is that a thing now every time I say 7? All right.
7.
Thought I got through it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Want to tell you about my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. The 82-game preseason is in the books. It's finally time for the real season. Don't miss out on the NBA playoff action at DraftKings Sportsbook. They are an official sports betting partner of the NBA. And if you're new to this whole sports betting thing, it's super easy. Just pick a team to win. You can try betting on something simple. Like just that, which team is going to win the game? Go to the app, the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select the team you want to win or you think is going to win, and place your bet. It's that simple. You don't have to make it more complicated than that. You can if you want to. You can go into same-game parlays, player props. You can go into first half lines and everything else. But you don't have to. You can keep it that simple. And here's something else to sweeten the deal for new customers. Bet $5 and get $5 in bonus bets instantly. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's TIMD with no spaces. And get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. We'll take a break. When we come back, there's a hockey game tonight. Canes versus Columbus. How should Rod Brindamore handle it? He's already spoken with his lineup. We'll tell you what that means coming up right after this.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
Enjoy savings every day when you get a McDouble, McChicken, and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, get any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Is your heating and air system ready for hot weather? Call Newcomb & Company today to schedule a routine maintenance and ensure your system is operating at peak performance. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs for HVAC and plumbing work. Newcomb & Company has served the area as a Carrier Factory Authorized dealer for more than 3 generations. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company and Carrier. Your comfort is our business.
This is Mike Maniscalco, voice of the Carolina Hurricanes. For Raleigh's exterior remodeler, Window World of Raleigh, a proud partner of the Carolina Hurricanes. And look, I know how important it is to be able to see through glass and make sure that you love what you're seeing through. And not only that, it's got to catch the eyes of everybody looking at it. Clearly, from the perch I have looking down through glass, got to make sure that Window World is taking care of what they have. And that's what they do for your house. And it's not just for windows. They can make a world of difference when it comes to curb appeal, but also saving you money. That's when it comes to decreasing energy costs. As America's largest exterior remodeler, Window World offers the highest rated windows, siding and doors, and so much more. And they all look great. All with guaranteed pricing and the industry's strongest warranty. We're talking about products with a lifetime warranty and the trusted Good Housekeeping seal. Check them out for a free in-home, no obligation estimate. Window World of Raleigh and Fayetteville. Just visit them at windowworldofraleigh.com.
Looking for a great deal on golf gear? Then swing by Global Golf's newly remodeled store and see why we're North Carolina's largest pre-owned club store. This week, receive an additional 15% off pre-owned clubs and great deals on bags, shoes, and apparel. You'll also find the latest from TaylorMade, Callaway, Titleist, and more. This Saturday, save even more at our sidewalk sale. It's all happening this week through Saturday at Global Golf, located in North Raleigh, 7320 ACC Boulevard. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades, regenerative medicine. If you are tired of achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, drugs, these are no longer your best options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. We're talking natural biologics, using your body's own power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Sheencup. Dr. Sheencup is a pioneer in this field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, and publishing. He wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. Call QC Kinetics now to learn more about some exciting options. This is a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with no downtime. 919-400-5473. With locations in Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. 919-400-5473.
It's Truck Month at your local Ram dealer, and now's the time to get great deals on our award-winning lineup of trucks. At Ram, all we do is trucks. Maybe that's why Ram is the most awarded light-duty and heavy-duty truck brand over the last 5 years. Ram trucks feature innovative technology and uncompromised power and dependability that give you the power to strengthen your truck game. Go to ram.com for great deals and hurry in for the best selection of trucks during Ram Truck Month. Based on total full-size pickup awards 2019 to 2023 CYTD, based on standard and available features offered.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
And this one across for Nason. Marty Natchez on this line. Orlov, here's your first touch. Scott Morrow, his shot right on it. Binnington makes the save.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Canes are in a really interesting position tonight,
to say the least.
The good news is you're in the postseason. You've clinched home ice against everybody except for 2 teams. You might still have it depending on what happens with Dallas against everyone except for the Rangers. You're playing the worst team in the NHL right now, the Columbus Blue Jackets, on the road. You've already locked up your first-round opponent. The heck do you do? Do you floor it to the postseason and go out and railroad the Columbus? Or do you worry about staying rested, staying healthy? You look like the ultimate goofball if you play anybody and they get hurt in this game. So what do you do? Well, I can tell you what the Canes are doing. They're resting everybody they can possibly rest. Let me bring up the lineups. This is how they skated at morning skate this morning. Let me bring it up. Here we go. Line 1, Drury centering Teravainen and Natchez. The second line has Bradley Nadeau making his debut with the team, first-round pick, along with Kuznetsov and Fost. It gets crazy. Comtois? Am I saying that right?
Comtois.
I should have known that. Kokiniemi centering that group with Nason. Lemieux, Martinook, and Blake. Blake making his debut with the team.
Jackson Blake.
Shea, Burns, and Orlov were rotating on one side for the defense, while Chatfield, D'Angelo, and Morrow, a guy that made his debut just a handful of days ago. At the other end, Spencer Martin, the third goalie, who's been a backup for the last few months at best, meaning suited up occasionally, but hasn't gotten into games in a long time.
Has not played since February 29th.
Pyotr Kochetkov on the other end, and that means by process of elimination, this all according to Walt Ruff, team reporter.
By the way, also Dylan Coughlin got called up from the AHL today.
He wasn't there in time.
Wasn't there in time for morning skate, but still might play tonight.
It means Aho, Freddie Anderson, the goalie, Jake Gensel, Seth Jarvis, Brett Pesce, Jacob Slavin, Andrei Svechnikov, and Jordan Stahl are all expected not to play tonight. This is a rest game. This is what you see in the NFL a lot of times the last week of the season, where the starters are wearing hoodies and they all have the headsets on so they can listen to the play, and the backups are out there getting their reps.
This is a preseason lineup.
It is a preseason lineup. I think what I said earlier is the way they're going with this. They are essentially looking at their players and saying, you're ready, right? You don't need another game on the road against Columbus to be done with the regular season. You've done it. You've completed your task. Now get ready for your next task, which is the more important one. It's an interesting decision to have to make for Rod Brind'Amour. It doesn't happen as often in hockey as it does in some other sports, but the logic is the same. Here's Rod Brind'Amour and the reason for changing the lineup.
We were hoping to be playing for something special here tonight. It obviously didn't work that way. So now you do have to switch gears, and, obviously that's why we're putting some of our guys out, just to mitigate any type of injury and stuff. So, it's a weird game to play, to be quite honest. But like you said, I think the storyline is we get exciting with some of the young players we're putting in.
It's a weird game to play, to be quite honest. Yes, it is. And the reason why it's weird is because the way that the hockey playoffs are set, there's usually something to play for, either home ice against another team and a second round matchup, or heck, last season all the way up till the final buzzer, they were fighting for the Metro, trying to win their division. The way it's set up is there's usually something on the line, so it's rare. Now, again, technically tonight, what is it? If the Canes and Dallas were to face in the Stanley Cup final, that's the only thing that isn't settled for the Canes right now.
I think so.
But they're worried about getting to the Stanley Cup final before they worry about where game one's going to be.
Yeah, get there first.
I want this. I want the players on the ice to take it serious. I want them to go for it as if they, sometimes it's hard to look around and go, okay, all the good guys aren't playing. I know what that means. No, I want them out there going for it, and not just the new guys, right? I want that line, that first line, to be trying to get in rhythm. I want the defenders, the defensemen that are going to be depended upon in the postseason to stay in rhythm, stay in their communication, and work on everything they have going on. Just because the regular season is over and you're ready doesn't mean you let yourself get anything less than sharp. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's turn towards something pretty fun. We talked earlier about the draft being 9 days away. The NFL draft is 9 days away. So we're going to try to find ways to work this wheel I have to my left into the show over the next couple of weeks, see if it becomes part of the show that we like. If you are there's a glare on it, but that shouldn't hurt anything. If you are watching on any of our video live streams, YouTube, WRAL Sports Fan, wherever you can find us, you can see it to my left. And what this wheel is, it's like a Wheel of Fortune wheel if you can't see it, just much smaller. Or we'll go Wheel of Fortune with it. So there are 9 names on here. 9 names of prospects from the Triangle football teams, okay? 9 names that are hoping to hear their name called in the NFL draft. There's also 5 kind of wild card slots with something else written on there that we will have to answer or come up with an answer to. But the best part of it is the wheel decides where we go. You know why that's the best part? Because then all the trolls out there can't tell, why do you talk about that guy? Why didn't you talk about our favorite team's guy first? Our guy's going to be a second rounder. Why'd you talk about the third rounder? The wheel had all the power. Shall I spin it, Dennis? Oh, by the way, when the names pop up, we're going to try to put them in their perfect spot. So we're going to look at kind of the range they're expected to be drafted and pick the favorite, the perfect, the ideal spot for them to land within that range. Here we go. Did I spin it too hard? Is this going to take too long?
You may have gone a little bit too hard with it.
I always make fun of the people on The Price is Right that don't spin it hard enough, so I was definitely not going to let that happen.
I think you hit this one.
Oh,
wait, it's turning back on you.
Fall down. What does that mean, Dennis?
All right, so who do you think of the prospects?
This is one of the wild cards.
This is one of the wild cards. So of the prospects that we have Peyton Wilson, Dwayne Carter, Cedric Gray, Tez Walker, amongst other guys, Drake Maye. Who do you think potentially falls down the draft board the quickest or the most based off some of the projection?
Yeah. So literally I'm like, there's no way fan bases will get mad at me for these.
Of course.
And then the first one is, which player is going to tumble down draft boards? Tez Walker.
Really?
I think for a few reasons. Really deep position.
Sure.
And I think once you get to like the top 6 or 7 off the board, everybody's going to have the same thought process, which is we like these next 6 the same. So let's wait. we like these, and then the next group's going to say, oh, there's still 6 on the board that we like. Let's wait until somebody spurs a run. But also, for reasons that are not necessarily in his control, he doesn't have the certain baseline stats. He didn't hit a certain amount of yards in a season, a certain amount of touchdowns, he didn't play that much against top competition. And I think when you're choosing between him and like a wide receiver from Oregon that played a ton of games, or a wide receiver from Texas that played a ton of games, it just feels like they're a bit more accomplished. And once you get to that point in the draft, I think everybody is looking for reasons to, break ties. And I think a tie could just be he hasn't played enough. By the way, we didn't say this at the beginning. If we land on one that we've already landed on, we'll just count it as the next one we haven't landed on to the right.
Yeah.
All right. Ready to spin it
Next
again?
one, go.
I spun it much softer that time.
I see that.
It's a good wheel. Good
It
ball
is.
bearings. Oh, it's coming back in the other direction. Oh.
Yeah, stop it right there.
I don't want to stop it right there. We'll stop it right there. Dylan McMahon.
Okay, Dylan McMahon, center from NC State.
Center from NC State. The mock drafts I looked up had him in the 5th, 6th, kind of a early to mid day 3 pick.
Okay.
This one is one of my favorite landing places.
So like a 5th, 6th round.
Yep. 5th, 6th rounder. The perfect landing spot for him. There's actually 2 picks it could be because the same team has back-to-back picks. The Philadelphia Eagles have pick 171 and 172 in the 5th round. I think it is a perfect landing spot for both the Eagles and Dylan McMahon for him to slide into one of those 2 spots. It's the 5th round, which is kind of safely within his projection. But do you know what else is interesting about the Philadelphia Eagles? About a dozen years ago, I'm sound like an old guy, right? About a dozen years ago, they drafted an undersized but super athletic center with the 191st pick in the 6th round. That center went on to be a 5-time All-Pro, a Super Bowl champ, a podcast host, a brother of the guy dating Taylor Swift. He went on to become an eventual Hall of Famer. It was Jason Kelce. And I think that gives Dylan McMahon, you go look at the pro day stuff, the combine stuff, he is a very good athlete for the position. The Eagles have a bunch of plays in their playbook where you need to have a center that can boogie. You need to be able to snap it and pull and get downfield and run and block linebackers at the second level. It's not just snap it and go work a double team with the guard like some centers do, or snap it and go work a slow moving, we used to call it a tick, a double team that becomes you going to the next level to block a linebacker. Sometimes you have to be an athlete in Philadelphia's offense at the center position, and there aren't a ton of them around, right? There's a lot of like low gravity, low center of gravity, stocky individuals playing center. I think he can run. Next one. Even lighter on the spin. I have to get better at my spins.
This wheel's a life of its
we
own.
almost had another center. Best rookie. What does that mean?
So he's going to have the best rookie season this upcoming year, you think. Of all the 9 guys that we have on this board, whether it's Tez Walker, Cedric Gray, Peyton Wilson, Jacob Monk, Dwayne Carter, among others, who has the best rookie season?
This one took me the least amount of time to think about.
Okay.
Peyton Wilson.
Fair.
Peyton Wilson, he was pro ready before this past season.
He was.
His instincts are there. If you watch him play, he can diagnose plays. I mean, the fact that he's been in college for a long time and he plays a position, that off-ball linebacker, where it does take instincts and it does take knowledge, but I would say quarterback and that signal caller on the defense are the 2 positions in college that get the most pro-style preparation game in and game out. So he's going to know what it is. They aren't going to have him with the green dot on his helmet making plays, calling the plays yet, but it won't be long. He's going to be ready to step in, and physically he's he's there. There's no development that needs to happen. He's big, he's tall, he's strong, he's fast. Next up. Spinning. My guy. What is that? What does that mean?
All right,
We're
so
hitting all the wild
if
cards.
you had to pick one guy on this board to be your guy for your team, who you picking? Like, who's your guy? Who's your go-to?
You know what? I really, and this is so boring, but just because of the position he plays, I really like Graham Barton.
Okay.
I did a little deep dive into watching his highlights. He is a big dude that is as versatile as they come. I didn't realize that he actually played center his freshman year.
Yeah.
And he looked good doing it. Then, out of necessity, they moved him to tackle. I thought most guys in college, like, you show up if you're that big, you're that talented, they're just like, you're a tackle. And then when you go to the pros, they're like, hey, actually, we think you can play center. He's proven it all. He can do a little bit of everything, which if I'm drafting in the late first, I might not have a pressing need for a starter at any position, but hey, let me bring him in. If we need him to play guard, we need him to play tackle, we need him to play center, that's a good spot for him to be. I really like Graham Barton.
All right, next one.
There's a lot of these guys could have been my guys, by the way. Peyton Wilson.
Okay.
Because we already did my guy. Peyton Wilson, he's projected to be a second or third round pick. I've seen him as high as like 38,
really?
as low as end of the third, depending on if one person falls in love with you. My favorite pick, and this is unintentional, I have them listed for all of our guys. My favorite pick is the Eagles at 50, second round. I think it's smart for him to go to a win-now team because he's older and he does have an injury history. They need linebackers. And here's the other reason why I think it's perfect for him. They have defensive linemen. They have Carter. They have Davis, the big Georgia defensive tackles. You put those guys in front of Peyton Wilson, let them gobble up blocks, let them give him a free run and go shoot gaps and go chase down ball carriers, he'll have 200 tackles. And that's only kind of an exaggeration. I think he'd fit in really, really well with the Eagles. Ready for the next one?
Yep.
I kind of like just spinning it.
I know. Tell.
I spun it a little stronger that time. What'll it be? No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Dwayne Carter.
Defensive tackle, Duke.
Defensive tackle, Duke. Late third, fourth round projection. Carolina fans, and I mean the Panther fans, not the Duke Carolina. Never mind. The Panthers have the 101st pick. That is the first pick of the fourth round. I think that is a perfect pick for Dwayne Carter from Duke. And this is synergy. Yesterday we did our countdown for interior defensive linemen, and I said, if you're picking second or third round, you're probably looking for an immediate starter, so you can't justify an interior defensive lineman there. But as soon as you get to the fourth round, I was like, hey, you probably could justify one there, interior defensive lineman, to rotate in amongst Derek Brown and Ashawn Robinson and everybody else. I literally said the fourth round is the earliest you could justify it. They have an early fourth. Go right there.
There it is.
You're already you know the area, right? You're the Duke. You're local. They probably watched you a lot. Could make it out there to see you a ton. They know your coaches. They value interior defensive linemen. I think it's important just to go somewhere where they value your position and you're not some cast-off. So, Dwayne Carter from Duke. What do we have time? Two more?
A couple more.
Spinning the wheel here on the drive.
Depends on how fast you spin that wheel. And how fast it stops.
It's just not going to stop. We may have to recalibrate this wheel. It's getting very similar. We're to Jacob Monk.
Okay. Offensive lineman center from Duke.
Again, this is the wheel is making it sound like I'm just picking a few teams. Jacob Monk is the lowest projected. He is 7th rounder or undrafted free agent. So this exercise that we're doing might literally be an exercise he and his agent have to do. Because if he's not picked in the 7th round, he is good enough. He's going to get a lot of calls as an undrafted free agent, and he's going to have to then decide where he goes, right? In the draft, you don't get to pick. Undrafted free agents, if you get a bunch of different offers and your agent's phone will be ringing off the hook, you have to be ready to pounce on the proper opportunity. If he is drafted, I think pick 240 to the Carolina Panthers works. They need center. They need help at center. But they're rolling with Austin Corbett. That's what it seems like now, so they might not want to use a premier pick, but they still want a little bit of depth. We know that they don't mind drafting offensive linemen, although that was the old regime, from in-state schools because they have Ike Ekwonu and Chandler Zavala. But Jacob Monk just feels like a fit there, feels like a fit at center, depth center for the Carolina Panthers. Last one. I really want to give this a ride. But I won't because we don't have much time. Oh, see, we had 3 that we've already used before.
That's
right
fine.
Miles Murphy, UNC defensive tackle. He's another one with a wide array of projections. I've seen 5th, I've seen 6th, I've seen 7th. So we'll just call him day 3. I think the perfect landing spot for him is pick 196 to the Los Angeles Rams. They're trying to replace Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
You're not going to replace Aaron Donald with one guy. They have to go full Moneyball.
Yeah.
They're going to replace Moneyball in the aggregate with 4 or 5 defensive linemen. You hope to get 50% of Aaron Donald. He can be the 4th or 5th of those interior defensive linemen trying to make it happen. I think his athleticism is there. I think it fits with the scheme. He won't be the guy after the guy. He won't be the guy trying to replace Aaron Donald, but he's the guy supporting the guy who's trying to replace Aaron Donald. The guy giving the guy trying to replace Aaron Donald a breather. So I think he could fit in right there. That is the wheel. We need to come up with a better name for it. I'm going to spin it real good one time.
Okay, go for it. Spin that thing one good time.
That wasn't even a good one. That wasn't as good as my first. I'm disappointed. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis Cox has something for you.
And as the wheel comes to a stop, I want to let everyone know, by the way, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Underdog Sportsbook. Sports betting, it's alive and thriving here in the state of North Carolina, and guess what? You can get in on all the action. I know there's a lot of games that are going to be deciding some playoff seeding, or who actually continues in the playoffs. NBA play-in games are today. There's a lot of NHL games that are at stake tonight. If you want in on that action, you got to download the Underdog Sportsbook app. And when you do, you're going to get a simple, fresh experience of fast, easy-to-use interface, and it's simple and easy to use. Like, for example, if I wanted to go into the NHL tonight, for example, Washington Capitals play the Philadelphia Flyers. If the Washington Capitals win, then guess what? They make the playoffs. Maybe I could do a parlay with the Capitals winning tonight, along with, I don't know, what about our local hockey team, the Carolina Hurricanes? I could parlay those two things together. Boom, plus 260. That is what I can do right now with Underdog Sportsbook. And it was simple and easy to find. Download the Underdog Sportsbook app on iOS or Android. Sign up with the promo code Dennis and use your first bet mulligan, which returns up to $1,000 as bonus funds if your first bet loses. That's Underdog Sportsbook, promo code Dennis. Must be 21 plus to gamble and present in North Carolina. Gaming problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov or call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply and can be found in the Underdog Sportsbook app.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back with football at 4. Drake Maye. You better not be surprised that draft experts are finding flaws. And I'll tell you why it doesn't matter. Stick around.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina.
He scores! Dmitry Orlov picks the corner, and the Canes take a 2-1 lead.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Second chance, they score! Jesper Fast knocks it home.
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
We buy any car.
Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because when you trade in, you're dealing with a dealer. And sure, they're interested in a good deal. For them, not for you. Come to WeBuyAnyCar.com instead. All we do is buy cars. You get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price. So don't take chances with a trade-in. Go to WeBuyAnyCar.com for a free online valuation.
Find out how much your car's worth at WeBuyAnyCar.
Nothing beats a Fairway Green lawn. Here's Kevin from Fairway Green. Time to get busy, right?
Yes, it's nice. We're starting to warm up, and time is running out to get that first application of pre-emergent crabgrass control down before that crabgrass starts to germinate. Both warm and cool season grasses need attention this time of the year. You want to make sure you're using the right products on your lawn this time of the year.
Nothing beats a Fairway Green lawn. Put them to work on yours now. Go to fairwaygreen.com to request a free online estimate or call 919-329-0095.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
What's wrong? My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation.
Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card?
Uh-huh.
Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase.
Really?
Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Tim Donnelly here for my friends at Zero Res. April showers bring May flowers. Well, how about this? Sitting on your couch in March brings crumbs and stains and spills on your carpet in April. That's where Zero Res comes in. Get your carpets cleaned. Not only is indoor air quality an issue year-round, but especially now that allergens and pollens are coming out of hibernation to invade your home. Get them all, the dust, the dander, everything out of your house using Zero Res. Get 3 rooms of your carpet Zero Resified starting at just $105. And if you get your air ducts cleaned, they'll clean your dryer vent for free. That's a $165 value. Call my friends at Zero Res right now. 919-995-0000 or go online at zeroresnc.com and say you want the 99.9 The Fan special. Zero Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same, and your house will smell clean.
O'Reilly Auto Parts carries the best parts for your next repair. If your car isn't stopping like it used to, Brake Best Select pads and rotors can restore your braking system performance. Shop Brake Best Select products exclusively at O'Reilly. And visit your new Bunn O'Reilly Auto Parts on Main Street next to Hardee's.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Dude Perfect here. Power up with the new smoothie we created with Smoothie King. It's loaded with pineapple, banana, kiwi apple juice, and more. Straw me, boys. Perfect shot. Get the Dude Perfect smoothie only at Smoothie King.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Shoots, he scores!
Go to GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Pretty nice afternoon out there. Still a bit on the warm side, but not quite as hot as yesterday. We'll see highs in the mid-80s. This evening, a few scattered storms are likely. We'll see an overnight low of 62. And then tomorrow's slightly cooler with highs in the low 80s. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 63 points to 37,798.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The NFL draft is coming up. We've been talking about it throughout the day. 9 days away, 7 shows. Don't, and this happens every year, don't let someone else's outrage make you feel like you should be outraged, right? Like, in real life, if you're in like a public situation and someone just stands up and runs away, a lot of people are like, hey, there's something to run from, I'm taking off with them. That's fine. Don't do that in draft world. Somebody's going to stand up and say, Drake Maye makes some bad decisions. Run away. And they're going to take off. And they're going to run to J.J. McCarthy. And they're going to run to Bo Nix. And they're going to run somewhere else. And I'm going to sit there going, yeah, we know. Did you see the good stuff? Don't be surprised when draft experts, also known as Draxperts, is what my brain wanted to say. Don't be surprised when draft experts point out there are flaws in Drake Maye's game. Like, oh, you watch his tape. Oh, if you watch the highlight film, he looks unreal. But if you watch the complete game, there's a lot that you're not going to like. It's like, yeah, we watched it live. We saw it the whole time. You're telling me he threw some bad interceptions this year? Guess who was watching it live going, that's a bad interception? Everybody around here. So don't let them discovering what we already knew change the way your opinion was crafted. Because do you know what else we saw? The 5 or 6 plays a game that you can't teach. If a draft expert is selling you on Drake Maye has a lot to fix, yeah. That's what coaching's for. We watched it all year at UNC. Yeah. And by the way, he looked much better in the decision-making process under different coaches his junior year. We darn sure saw the flaws, but we also saw the reasons why you take a chance on fixing the flaws. Do you know who else had flaws in college? Darn near everybody.
Yeah, hardly anyone's like ready-made, let's go turnkey.
Josh Allen was completing like 56% of his passes at Wyoming.
If that.
Jalen Hurts went in the second round. Patrick Mahomes went behind Mitch Trubisky. No offense, UNC fans. I'm doing a lot of praising a UNC quarterback, so allow me that one jab.
Call what it is.
It's Patrick Mahomes came from this offense. He didn't have to read defenses. Guess what? There's the shop, LeBron show. They sit in a barbershop and they chat. Patrick Mahomes said publicly. He said like he didn't hide it. This was not he didn't know the mic was hot. He was on a show, and he said he did not know how to read defenses until about halfway through his second year as a starter. Do you know what he did his second year as a starter? He won the Super Bowl. Halfway through that season, he said he didn't know how to read defenses. I'm fine looking at Drake Maye and saying, yes, he has flaws, and still not running for the door. Now, is he going to be Patrick Mahomes? Is he going to be Josh Allen? Is he going to be Jalen Hurts? I'm not saying that. But I'm saying more and more and more and more, the NFL is about finding the guys that can do the things you can't teach and then trying to teach them the rest. Drake Maye has the things you can't teach. He has the throws that other guys don't even try to make. And he makes them at an unreal rate. He has the improv. He has the special sauce. He has the sense for the moment. What he doesn't have are things that can be taught. They can be. So there's going to be, the next 9 days might as well be like shuffling a deck of cards as far as the quarterbacks go. Right here we have Adam Schefter. He expects 6 quarterbacks to be drafted just in the first round.
We've been talking about all these teams that need quarterbacks, and we're talking about 6 quarterbacks that potentially could go in the first round. And because of all the teams that need one, to me, that's going to drive up the number of quarterbacks taken in round 1. Because of the needs of so many teams, I would be shocked if there weren't at least 5 quarterbacks taken in round 1. And I think because of all the teams that need one, I think we're going to wind up with 6 when all is said and done.
6 quarterbacks could go in the first round. There's going to be the 3-card Monty card game. It's going to be this one's first, this one's first. The only thing, Caleb Williams is going to go number 1, and everyone's going to put that in every mock. Other than that, it's going to be which one do you think is going second now? He's going 5th now. Pick the ones, and I will say this, actually we'll use a saying from Brandon Beane, the GM of the Bills. He traded up for Josh Allen, 7th overall pick. And he was asked recently if he thought he overpaid for the move up or what he thought of the package that he had to go ahead and give up to move up to Josh Allen. And he goes, it didn't matter. At the time, I knew it didn't matter. If Josh Allen ended up working, it didn't matter how much I paid. And if he didn't end up working, it didn't matter how much I paid. Because if you draft a quarterback in the top 10 and it doesn't work, you probably lose your job. And if you draft a quarterback in the top 10 and it does work, no one's thinking I wish you didn't give up that extra second rounder to go get him. It's just quarterbacks are pass-fail exercises. They are go, no go. And if you need someone special, the ones I think it is smart to bet on are the ones that do the things you can't teach. I'll use a different personal story. David Sills. I go back to this story all the time.
Oh, yeah, former quarterback at West Virginia, right?
He was a quarterback at West Virginia, actually then a wide receiver at West Virginia. But before all of that, he was a 13-year-old quarterback that was an 8th grader starting on his high school varsity team and was offered a scholarship at 13 years old by Lane Kiffin at USC.
Yeah.
He was also from the state of Delaware. I was playing at the University of Delaware at the time. He used to come to our 7-on-7s. He used to come to our camps and stuff. And this is when he was 13 years old, and he was the number 1 ranked recruit in every ranking. He was a quarterback. Ended up playing wide receiver in the NFL for a little bit. Might still be. But I remember thinking, you can't teach this guy anything. I was a college quarterback, right? Had dedicated, at the point, 15 years of my life to becoming a quarterback. I'm going, he knows at least as much as I do. He's 13 years old. He knows at least as much as I do. When he gets to college, how in the world is he going to get better? Right? I mean, I guess he could get stronger, sure. But he was so polished. Meanwhile, if you took me to another guy that was having the same amount of success or having more flash plays because he was physically gifted, and I was and he has no idea what he's looking at, I could teach that guy to be so much better. Same is true in the NFL. Same is true in the draft. Same kind of idea. What I mean by that is if you bring someone in that reads every defense perfectly, if you bring someone in that understands everything and he's a coach's dream and he can go up on the board during all the meetings and nail everything, and you look at his film and he makes every good decision, then you're looking at the best he's ever going to be. Meanwhile, if you bring in the guy that misses the open wide receiver, granted, you don't want him to, but let's say he does, and he spins out of a tackle, keeps the play alive, runs over to the sideline as he's jumping out of bounds, throws it across his body, and completes a pass that only 4 guys on the planet could complete. I'm going, I want to bring that guy in. I'll teach him how to find the open receiver on the first read so he doesn't have to do all of that, but I like knowing he can do all of that. That way, if he ever is in a situation where he has to, he can. As long as you think Drake Maye is the kind of guy that is going to live and breathe football, and he's going to work on it, and he's going to fix his flaws, and he's going to listen to the coaching, you bring in the guy with the special. Don't get surprised that he's not always perfect. We watched it. We saw it. We know. If you watch the NC State game, no one was like, you went into that film thinking you weren't going to see flaws? No, we knew there were some dark moments in that season for Drake Maye.
It's amazing how so many people expect when someone, even with freshmen in college, how we expect them to just be ready, baked, made, ready to go, no flaws. You should step in and just be the guy right away, because we see the rare exception of where those guys are they step on the court, they step on the field, and they're just instantly just great. Like Adrian Peterson was at Oklahoma. He just plugged him in as a true freshman. Here's 150 yards.
I guarantee you there were plays where he missed the hole and ran for a 60-yard touchdown anyway.
Because he's just physically
Because
gifted.
he was Adrian Peterson.
Exactly. But not everyone is that. Even going into the NFL, not everyone's that. Caleb Williams, consensus number 1 overall. There's even still criticism about his footwork and his mechanics and things like that. So, yeah, no one's going to be
jumps
perfect
when he
and ready
throws
to go.
for no reason.
Exactly. Why do you do this?
Unbelievable he can make that throw without his feet on the ground, but I don't know why you jumped in the first place. Like, that is special stuff you can't teach. He's another one. I'm not going to nitpick Caleb Williams' film because I see the good and go, goodness gracious. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's time for Cop or Drop. We're going to get to one of our favorite games coming up next, but first, here's Dennis Cox.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loan. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes. With almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. You can use that money to pay off all your other loans. Guess what? The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Here's the thing. Your home value, it's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money out for that home improvement project you've been thinking about doing. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval, it's just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Cop or Drop, the biggest stories in sports, coming up right here on The Drive next.
We were born ready. Let's go Hurricanes.
The Stanley Cup playoffs.
Burns, rebound, score. Seth Jarvis.
Let's go Canes.
Dean wide open. Rebound. And what a save by Anderson.
Let's go.
Orlov settled. Shot right on. Gets it with a second try. Swim against it. They score.
The win or go home season arrives soon. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle sports leader.
Enjoy the ride.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone, available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or a 2 Bird Dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Guys.com.
It's playoff time in the NBA and the NHL. Baseball's in full swing, and FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. Adam Gold here, and right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you make your first $5 wager, because you know me. Go to FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold to get started. FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold. Then you can bet on anything. Slap shots, home runs, slam dunks, all on an app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. $200 in bonus bets await when you place your first $5 wager. Visit FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Must be 21 and older and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Looking for a great deal on golf gear? Then swing by Global Golf's newly remodeled store and see why we're North Carolina's largest pre-owned club store. This week, receive an additional 15% 10% off pre-owned clubs, and great deals on bags, shoes, and apparel. You'll also find the latest from TaylorMade, Callaway, Titleist, and more. This Saturday, save even more at our sidewalk sale. It's all happening this week through Saturday at Global Golf, located in North Raleigh, 7320 ACC Boulevard. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for Cop or Drop, the portion of the show where Dennis lines everything up. He tells me the biggest stories in sports, takes, guesses, everything, and I say whether I'm copping or dropping. Dennis, take it away.
All right. New guys playing tonight. Scott Morrow, Jackson Blake, Bradley Nadeau. All three of those guys are going to be playing tonight.
That name does seem like it should be backwards. Blake Jackson. That's
Blake
he has
Jackson.
A last name for a first name for a last name. Flip it.
Anyway, but Bradley Nadeau, Jackson Blake, Scott Morrow all playing tonight for the Carolina Hurricanes. Scott Morrow's second game, Nadeau and Blake their first games tonight in the NHL. Cop or drop, one of those three guys scores a goal.
Cop.
Yeah.
For
pick one. Who scores?
Oh, Nadeau.
Yeah.
For they might each give up a goal too. Like I think
yeah, very well.
I think they're going to be flying around, fresh legs, shot out of a cannon, getting after it, trying to score that goal. Why not? Either. You're playing Columbus, it's the last game of the year. A bunch of the starters are on the bench. I wouldn't even expect like the Kuznetsovs, the Teravainens. I don't even expect them to play 19 minutes on the ice. Let the young guys with the fresh legs get out there and get jiggy with it. So one of them is going to find the back of the net. I think Nadeau.
It'd be awesome if all three of them scored.
Or what if it's two of them get the assist and the other scores, and it's just the three of them all contribute?
That would actually be pretty dope.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
That would actually be
Morrow
really
gets
cool.
a stop ahead to Blake. Blake in front, deflection by Nadeau. I'll let Maniscalco do the play-by-play.
Cop or drop, Canes in 6.
At least
over the Islanders.
So that's specific?
That's specifically Canes in 6.
Dropping.
Okay.
5.
Okay, Canes in 5. I like this. I set you up for it.
5.
Okay.
And that's just because 1 is a weird game. It's bounces off a skate or something. 5. I think 5 is appropriate. 5 is what it should be.
Okay.
And 5 is what it will be. They're the better team. Show it early, leave no doubt. I almost said leave no prisoners. Either one, same vibe. Leave no doubt, leave no prisoners.
If that's how you want to take this,
there is always that one guy before a big game that's taken a little too seriously.
Yeah,
it's time to eat. It's time to kill. It's whoa.
Hey, it's
we want to play well too.
Yeah.
All right,
simmer. Go take a lap.
You said leave no doubt. I said leave no prisoners. Okay, all right. I'll be in the other side of the locker room and put my headphones on.
All right, next one up here on Cop or Drop. So it was reported that Rory McIlroy, this is according to a London newspaper, that Rory McIlroy was offered $850 million as well as an equity stake to join Live Golf. Rory McIlroy denied that report that was published by a London newspaper and said he plans to finish his career on the PGA Tour. Cop or drop that we will, in the next 10 years, see a Live PGA merger.
Merger's not the word.
Okay.
So I'm dropping merger.
Okay.
I think at one point one of them will like an acquisition.
Okay, absorb the other.
Yeah, I don't like. To me, a merger is like Exxon Mobil. Like, we're not going to see PGA live.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But I do think all of the players will be playing on the same tour again. I hope it's the PGA Tour. I hope they retain the history so you can continue measuring against eras. But I don't see them ever working together in harmony. Could there be some kind of weird back end, the money mixes? Maybe. But I don't see like the actual golf being merged, just because merge probably isn't the right word.
Okay, but you see maybe the two of them joining in some way, shape, or form.
Or
whether it's like one buys
being
the other.
allowed back in if they XYZ. Like, I don't know how it happens, but I do believe, like, on a weekly basis, we'll see, John Rahm playing against Rory McIlroy and Brooks Koepka playing against Scotty Scheffler. I think that happens within the next 10 years. I don't think it's any time like imminent, but within the next 10 years.
Okay. Next one up here on Cop or Drop. I know the NFL draft is coming up next week. Cop or Drop, the first 4 picks in the NFL draft will be quarterbacks.
Drop. This is part of the life cycle.
Yeah.
Every year about this time, like the top 5 picks are all quarterbacks. I think the most we've ever seen is 3. I could be convinced 3. I don't think 4.
I think definitely 3.
Unless because right now, like, all right, let's go. First 2 definite. I think Caleb Williams to the Bears is locked and loaded ever since they traded Justin Fields. Second, Washington is their soup du jour, their flavor of the day. It's Jaden Daniels or it's Drake Maye. 3 with New England. New England's always beat to their own drum. They could go Marvin Harrison Jr. or someone else that is looking at Arizona at 4 and saying they're definitely going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. that wants to jump them could trade up to 3 to take Marvin Harrison Jr. I think 4 with Arizona, I think that's Marvin Harrison Jr. if he's there. And if he's not, that means we're already not having 4 quarterbacks drafted. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is really gosh darn good, and the Cardinals desperately need a number 1 wide receiver for Kyler Murray. They've dabbled with DeAndre Hopkins. Hollywood Brown was there for a little bit. They even moved on from Rondale Moore. So yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. sounds like a top 4 pick to me.
All right. Next one up here on Cop or Drop. We've seen some NFL teams decide to pick up 5th-year options on contracts for guys or rookies that were drafted in the first round back in the 2021 year, the 2021 draft. J.C. Horn was the 2021 first-round draft pick for the Carolina Panthers. Cop or Drop that the Carolina Panthers pick up J.C. Horn's 5th-year option?
I think they should. So, cop.
Cop that he will?
For the simple reason of they need to create value. And not picking him up, I mean, obviously you could end up paying him money that you don't think he's worth, which is the big, like, that's the thing you're afraid of. But having years of control on a young player, if he plays 14 games this year, suddenly that 5th-year option becomes a massive asset for you. If you wanted to move him, if you, like, what you don't want to have happen is have you run out of your control contractually over him right as he puts in a complete season, because it only takes one. The NFL does not have long memories. They don't. You put in one good season, the market is like, you're great, I love you, I knew it all along. Case in point, Jordan Love. Jordan Love was the guy that couldn't get on the field. He played one game and didn't play well. Last year, early in the season, it was like, I don't know. He had a hot stretch down the end. Everyone was like, this guy's the greatest quarterback to ever live. The NFL does not have long memories. So what you don't want to do is not pick up J.C. Horn's 5th-year option. Have him play the one good season, and then you don't have the opportunity to wait it out and see what you want to do on a long-term deal. Everything gets accelerated. So I think, is it a risk? Yeah, but I think it's one that you definitely, it's worth taking.
He's that good. He's that talented.
When he plays, he's good.
So good.
When he plays. That's a big caveat.
When he plays. But it's, again, we're not talking about a player that's, he's okay. We can move on him after a year. It's not like, Chase Young up in
If he avoids just major injuries this year, Like he could miss a couple games with a dislocated finger or something. like if he plays 14 games of the 17, I think his value goes through the roof, and you're definitely going to want to have control of that player.
Cop or drop? Carolina Panthers move up into the latter part of the first round.
Drop. What would they give up?
Could be like
33
and
a
like
fourth?
a fifth or something like that to move up to like pick 29 maybe.
It is wild how they've let fifth-round picks become so important to their plan.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they need to hit on probably 2 day 3 picks as people that they don't have to be like star contributors, but people they trust on an NFL field, which not many teams want to take day 3 picks and put them right into. Puka Nacua is not normal.
You could do it with like a running back.
Sure, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Some running backs you can plug in like fifth round.
You want to see them at training camp before you budget them into the plan.
Sure.
They need to budget them into the plans. Like they don't have the picks to give up. Here's what I think the Panthers do in the latter half of the first round. I don't know where they'll be. I don't know who they'll be talking to, but they'll be sitting together with their fingers crossed going, come on, fall to us. Okay, they weren't picked with that pick. Come on, fall. They're just like the rest of us. They're just hoping. Just sitting there watching the first round going, I hope. Hope's not a strategy, but it's all they have in the first round. Just hope someone they have a first-round grade on falls to them at 33.
All right, final one here.
Let's do it.
I'm actually going to shift gears to the NBA because we have NBA play-in games tonight.
That we do.
Including the Lakers at the Pelicans. Pelicans feature a couple former Duke players, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of local ties down to the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans miss the playoffs as a whole. That means they lose tonight against the Lakers and they lose to the winner of the Kings Warriors. Pelicans miss the playoffs. Cop or drop?
Gosh, you put me in a tough spot.
I did.
I don't like betting against two gentlemen by the name of LeBron James and Steph Curry. But I probably think no. You know what? Pelicans beat one of them. No,
okay.
I'm saying the Pelicans make the postseason. They're like low key having a nice little resurgence. Those two Duke guys are good. Zion is special. I think the Pelicans can pull it off.
It's interesting. There's so much conversation this leading up into the season, rightfully so, about Zion, his health, and his weight and things along those lines. The guy played in 70 games this season, averaging over 31 minutes a game, and put up just under 23 points a game. To go with like nearly 6 rebounds and 5 assists.
I mean, he wasn't as prodigious as some of the numbers from early in his career, but you're right, he did play, and was around for a lot of games, which matters. I think we're all kind of hoping for that Lakers Golden State play-in game. Mm-hmm. I hate the play-ins, just so everybody knows. I don't think it's fair. But that one Lakers Golden State play-in game where LeBron did the whole I saw 3 hoops, so I shot at the middle one, and he hit the clincher. It's a pretty fun game to watch. So Pelicans beat the Lakers, then we get Golden State against the Lakers with a postseason spot on the line.
It's weird about these games, these playing games for the NBA, is that they're not considered postseason games or playoff game when it comes to stats, but they're also not regular season games. So where do the stats lie in terms of a career?
The problem for me is okay, the GOAT debate is overdone, right?
It's dumb.
But it happens constantly. And guess what? LeBron gets a postseason. I don't care if you think it's a playoff stat or if it's a regular season. It's postseason because it's after the regular season. Postseason. He gets a postseason elimination game buzzer-beating winner to put in his highlight film when you're having these comparisons that he didn't earn. To get a elimination game buzzer beater, you got to make it to game 7. You got to make the postseason and then win 3 games. He gets one for free because he was kind of mediocre on the bubble of getting in the postseason for a year. It artificially makes big moments, and for better or worse, part of how we judge players is how they perform in big moments. And I want them to be authentic big moments. I don't want them to be artificial, cooked up in a lab, experimental big moments. I want them to be actual big moments. So with that being said, if Zion, dunks with no time on the clock to win the game tonight, I'm 100% going to go, what a performance in a big moment. You can't avoid it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's cop or drop. I feel like that was a good mixture of cops and drops. Sometimes we get cop heavy, sometimes we get drop heavy. That one was a good mixture. Everyone out there, text keyword KING, K-I-N-G, to 919-860-5326 to enter for a chance to win a $25 Smoothie King gift card. Text keyword KING to 919-860-5326 to enter for a chance to win a $25 Smoothie King gift card. Let's look towards tonight. We talked a little bit about it. I want to dive into the actual game tonight and the guys that will play. Obviously, it was a decision by Rod Brind'Amour to not play Aho, Jarvis, Gensel, and the rest.
Yeah, Pesci, Slavin,
Stahl, Svetch, Freddie Anderson, Pyotr Kochetkov, I would assume isn't going to play. We'll see Spencer Martin. So that decision has been made. We've talked about it. What can we take away from the guys that are playing tonight? Right? Dennis said it earlier. This is a preseason lineup style game, right? Should we look for preseason things? What things do you see in the preseason? If there is only a handful of veterans playing, you try to figure out why those are the veterans playing in the preseason, right? Oh, is Brind'Amour auditioning this for potentially a line they'll use this regular season? Are you test driving a line? Well, you look at the first line for tonight's game, according to their morning skate, and this comes from Walt Ruff, team reporter. It's Teravainen and Necas being centered by Drury. Is that one you intend to see in the postseason there, Dennis?
Well, it's interesting because just a few games ago, about a week ago, Kuznetsov was centering Teravainen and Necas, and that was your quote-unquote second line behind Aho, Gensel, and Jarvis. So, to me, reading this, and based off what we've seen over the previous couple games, this is an opportunity for Rod Brind'Amour to give as much ice time to that Drury, Necas, Teravainen line to figure out, all right, am I rolling with this trio? Now, honestly, that's my guess, is that this is going to be the line that we see rolling into the playoffs. And the fact that Kuznetsov has Fost on his wing, to me, that tells me that come playoff time, that it's Kuznetsov is going to play with Fost and most likely Nason. Now, the lines, again, are a little bit shuffled after that top line, but the fact that Drury, Necas, and Teravainen are together tells me that's what it's going to be like when the playoffs start.
So you think the decision is made and this is to give them reps, not we're still making the decision and this can help us make it?
I think this is to give them reps, but if you realize early in the game, you know what, it's not working, you can just flip Drury and Kuznetsov, or you could put Kotkaniemi there and see what happens. But we've seen Kotkaniemi play with Necas, throughout much of the season, because I know it was Kotkaniemi, Necas, and Svechnikov a lot earlier this year, so you've seen that happen before. But I think this is as many reps as possible. Teravainen's missed the last 2 games, so he doesn't need another game in terms of a breather. He's ready to go. I think this is you guys get as much ice time together as possible.
Spencer Martin, if we see him anything more than Russ being knocked off?
I mean, Russ. I mean, he hasn't played since February 29th. Now, he's been a backup in terms of he's dressed, gone through pregame warm-ups and all that kind of stuff, which I think is good. So he's not completely rusty and out of that routine of getting dressed for a game and going through warm-ups and those kinds of things. But again, he hasn't played since February 29th, but watch him go out there and stop 26 shots.
I mean, you really hope you never have to see him in a postseason game. Something has gone very twisted sideways.
Something's very wrong.
But you also don't want to be twisted sideways and not be prepared for it.
Exactly. Going with the goalie who hasn't played since February 29th, that things do get weird.
Then there's the new guys. This one is where it gets interesting, right? There's Jackson Blake, there's Bradley Nadeau making their debut, Scott Morrow in his second game. This is interesting because everyone that's not playing, and most of the guys we just talked about, there's a certain level of knowledge and faith and trust, and you know what you're going to get from those guys. You've seen it at the NHL level a bunch. The three new guys are rolling in there with, I would say, probably a ton of enthusiasm and a lot to prove. And, I don't think by any means, if they don't play well in this one, it's any kind of demerit because it's a tough situation. But I do want to see kind of how they react. And not just like, are they going to go score a goal? Are they going to go pick up an assist? Are they going to control the puck? Are they going to set up their teammates? But also, like, if I'm Rod Brindamore, I'm trying to, catch a look in their eye when they're on the bench. I'm trying to just see what their heart rate's at. I'm trying to see how you react when you're uncomfortable, how you react when you're in a big game, because these three guys are part of what they hope will be a core down the line that will play in big games. And while hopefully they'll get to the point where playing in an NHL game is like commonplace. They do a bunch of it. It's their job. But then you might get the nerves up for a postseason game or a Stanley Cup final, right? And that may be, at that point in their career, the equivalent to what tonight is for them now, right? The biggest game of their lives. Up till this point, probably their NHL debut. Their biggest game of their lives 4 years from now, you hope, is a Stanley Cup final. So it's like, all right, let me see how you react when you're a little nervous. Let me see how long it takes you to get into a game. Let me see that. I want to know what you're made of a little bit here. And Jackson Blake, as he's about to say in this clip, at least it's nice they've got a little core group of guys to go through it together.
Been a huge help to have Scotty and Bradley here. Obviously, we're all kind of in the same boat, playing college and then coming here. We've been sticking together these last couple of weeks. We've been together, and it's made it easier on me to know I'm not the only guy going through the things that I'm going through. So, yeah, it's been super awesome to have both those guys here.
Rod Brindamore on the new guys making their debut, and Rod's been around the game so much. He knows the special of your NHL debut.
It's a good experience. I hope they, play well, obviously, and have a great memory. I mean, that's really what it's about. For this game, for them, first game. You want to have something special happen, be great.
I didn't even know this because Dennis just told me during that clip, jumped in my headset. Rod Brindamore made his debut as a player in the postseason. You want to calm down the players? You think this is nerve-wracking? Guys, I did it in the postseason. Get out there, have some fun. Fire some pucks on the net, right? If we lose this one, it doesn't matter. This game is we've already clinched everything there, kids. Go out there and fire away.
He debuted Game 5 of when he was St. Louis Blues, of the team that drafted him. So this 1989 Stanley Cup playoffs, Rod Brindamore debuted Game 5 in the divisional semifinals against the Minnesota North Stars, who are now the Dallas Stars. He scored a goal in his first shot.
Some guys have all the I was going to say luck, but it's not luck. Some guys have all the skill.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Bradley Nadeau, I said earlier during Copper Drop, I'm copping him to score a goal.
Your turn.
Maybe it'll be the first shot. Here's Bradley Nadeau. If he sticks around, I'll have to learn how to say his name. On the coach is telling him to basically go for it.
Yeah, he told me to shoot the puck, just go out there and have fun and see how it goes. So that's what I'll do, and I'll see how it turns out.
I love it.
Let it fly, young man.
I love it.
Let it fly. Yeah, you know what?
Pucks on net.
This game's of zero consequence. Go out there and just let it rip.
Hat trick.
Yeah, why not? Hey, Rod,
make it happen.
I know you scored a goal in your first shot in a playoff game, but I got Hattie.
That'd be pretty good.
That would be pretty good.
That would be pretty good. That's a mic drop moment. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have a feedback frenzy. We're getting to your best feedback coming up in a second, but first, here's Dennis Cox.
Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. Now, this is for everyone out there that might be in a wedding party or even might have their own wedding coming up sometime in the near future, whether it's this summer or even this coming fall. Maybe you're already planning your wedding for next year. If you're looking for that opportunity to have that wonderful experience for your bachelor or bachelorette party, look no further than Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Bring your wedding party for that adrenaline-pumping day of clay target shooting training in a beautiful natural area. They have a wonderful staff over at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School that'll help guide you through an exciting and safe experience with everything that you need. Every time I've been down there to Deep River, I've had a staff member go out with me. Everything I need to go out shooting clays, they have it there for you. That's the best thing about it. You can show up and have that wonderful experience. Then afterwards, with you and your bridal party, your groomsmen, you want to kick back and relax in their beautiful outdoor pavilions. Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School can help provide delicious food and drink for you while you relax with your closest friends and enjoy and soak in that memory and experience. So make your bachelor or bachelorette party one to remember at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Book today at deepriversportingclays.com. Again, deepriversportingclays.com. Let the adventure begin and book that fun experience.
We have a feedback frenzy. We go to you. That's right, you listening, on YouTube comments, Twitter comments, any way we hear your feedback, and we respond to some of our favorite bits of feedback coming up next.
What are you doing?
I'm training for the new Ultimate Dash Scratch-Offs. I could get a chance to dash through a warehouse full of prizes.
That explains the shopping cart.
Plus, I could win up to $2 million in cash.
And that explains the tuxedo.
I'm chafing.
Feel the rush with new Ultimate Dash Scratch-Offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.78. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's Truck Month at your local Ram dealer, and now's the time to get great deals on our award-winning lineup of trucks. At Ram, all we do is trucks. Maybe that's why Ram is the most awarded light-duty and heavy-duty truck brand over the last 5 years. Ram trucks feature innovative technology and uncompromised power and dependability that give you the power to strengthen your truck game. Go to ram.com for great deals and hurry in for the best selection of trucks during Ram Truck Month. Based on total full-size pickup awards 2019 to 2023 CYTD, based on standard and available features offered.
O'Reilly Auto Parts offers more than just the right parts for your repair. Our professional parts people can also test your battery, install your new wiper blades, and diagnose your check engine light for free. For the best service, advice, auto parts, and accessories, stop by the new O'Reilly Auto Parts in Bunn on Main Street next to Hardee's.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
QC Kinetics announces the arrival of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon with 2 decades of experience and extensive research in regenerative medicine.
I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it, and at the same time I integrated clinical research that's resulted in several publications that are really directing the future of regenerative medicine. I was drawn to QC Kinetics after I reviewed their protocols, and everything they were doing is consistent with my own approach.
Today, Dr. Scheinkup leads the entire team of medical professionals at QC Kinetics, taking this exciting medical breakthrough to a whole new level.
What we are doing at QC Kinetics is transforming lives.
Get lasting joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's time to hear from you. It's a feedback frenzy. Dennis patrols the internet. He finds your best comments, questions, remarks, rebuttals, arguments, debates in response to something we say here on this show. And we respond to it. Dennis, what do you got?
Simple as that. All right, let's actually go to the conversation that we had yesterday regarding the Carolina Panthers and how they've turned the interior of their defensive line into a strength. This comes from Andrew Campbell. I do like this method, and if you go back right to the first interview with Canales, Dave Canales being the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, he said back then his goal is the ball. Protect it or go get it back. So building this way is absolutely a good way to do it. Love it.
You think defensive tackles are the ones that are like forcing turnovers?
Or at least cause the chaos to lead to turnovers potentially.
See, I look at defensive tackles as like you win the boring plays with defensive tackles. You turn a 4-yard run into a 2-yard run, which turns, 2nd and 6 into 2nd and 8, which it's allows then the other, I guess it then allows the other positions to go, or collapse a pocket and it forces an early throw or something.
That's what I'm thinking. Like you force the quarterback to scramble, which then your edge rushers or maybe the ball gets thrown up, and that's where you get interceptions, those kinds of things.
I do completely agree that the offensive interior, I mean, that's about running the ball, sure, which is ball protection. And, every coach will tell you, we want to pound the rock. We want to attack the ball. It's all about turnovers. We get it. What else you got?
All right. So actually on that exact same video, this actually comes from a guy named Tom. So
Hey,
Tom says, it's been a strength, talking about interior defensive line. This is why I get so mad when people say the Panthers had the, quote, worst roster, unquote, in the NFL. The O-line was below average, but the rest of the roster wasn't a disgrace, but people shortchanged a lot of people because they didn't want to make excuses for Bryce. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad they were making it even stronger, but it's about time we talk about the defense with some respect instead of blaming them for Bryce's terrible performance at QB.
So, okay, hold on. The offensive line was not good. He admits that.
He acknowledged that the offensive line was below average, but the rest of the roster wasn't a disgrace, but people shortchanged it a lot because people did not want to make excuses for Bryce.
I think
or they wanted to make excuses for Bryce. My apologies.
I think you could easily say the offensive line and the wide receivers were significantly below par.
Yeah.
And you know what's coming from me. I love to differentiate between reasons and excuses. There's one thing to say Bryce Young didn't play well for a reason, which is your offensive line was below par and your wide receivers couldn't get open, and when they did, they couldn't catch. That's not an excuse. That's a reason, right? Reasons are legitimate. Excuses are made up phooey. They're word vomit. By the way, I'm not the biggest Bryce defender in the history of the world. You can go back and look at our Bryceometer where we had the confidence. Got pretty darn bleak at times during the year. I was pretty darn negative with him. But it is impossible to talk about that season without talking about the supporting cast. If you think that's just making excuses, you're missing the forest for the trees.
All right. We also posted a video yesterday on YouTube talking about, is Harrison Ingram going to return to North Carolina? Which is a big question mark for Hubert Davis and the Tar Heels. So this one actually comes from Jay Gotti. As a huge UNC fan, I have to admit Ingram would be making a mistake by returning to college for another year. He has the tools to be a really solid pro, and his stock will never be higher, especially with how weak this year's draft class is compared to next year's.
See, I'll one of the most important things you can do is admit what you didn't know. I have not looked into how strong next year's NBA draft is.
Neither have I.
So I can't really speak on that. What I can say is I don't think we saw the best Harrison Ingram this year. I think he's a very good player. Again, you can go back and listen to the shows. I sung his praises as loud as anybody in the country.
Oh, yeah.
I think if he takes more threes, That makes him a more attractive pro. I don't even think he has to make a ton, like higher percentage, but it would be nice. But if he just takes more threes and he proves he can play a little bit more perimeter oriented, he can sell himself as a bit more 3-and-D with that rebounding and everything else. I don't necessarily agree that, you know, his like the prospect of him playing in the pros will never be higher. I might agree. I'd have to look into it. You know, if next year's NBA draft class is just some juggernaut and there's 50 studs, I might go like, all right, and yeah, maybe he's got to factor in that business decision, but I just can't speak on it yet.
All right, next, same exact video. This one comes from Lindsay. Lindsay says, Harrison Ingram is a great player with a huge skill set and is a great in the locker room as well, but we, being North Carolina, need them both, referring to Harrison Ingram and R.J. Davis, to let the team know the team will be really young without Davis and Ingram, and that is also a consideration when it comes to the transfer portal.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. However, they will not be really young if they lose Harrison Ingram and R.J. Davis. Not because the players on the roster that are currently on the roster won't be young, but because I'm pretty darn certain if Hubert Davis loses Harrison Ingram and R.J. Davis, that portal will come a-calling, and he'll go get veterans just like he did last year in the portal. He knows how to sell that. But, like, if you had to choose, yeah, bring back the ACC Player of the Year and the player I've dubbed the amorphous blob as a compliment, and Harrison Ingram. Both of those guys coming back definitely make you a top contender. And that's somebody that I mean, I'm a fan of all the top contenders being in the triangle. I want them both back. I'd love to watch R.J. Davis for another year.
Final one here. This one actually comes from our conversation about Caleb Foster going back to Duke for his sophomore year, coupling with the fact that Tyrese Proctor is going to be coming back for his third year. Question still, Jeremy Roach. This one comes from EB Nest. We talked about how experience in the backcourt could be big for Duke, and he just simply said experience wins in college.
It's a mixture.
Yeah.
Experience and
skill.
Yeah, you look at the best teams, there's almost always a couple young, wildly athletic, probably going pro early players, and then there's a couple the sage advice givers who have been in college. You know, they're the who's the guy for Kansas back in the day? He had the receding hairline. It seemed like he was in college for 14 years. I have it. Perry Ellis. Perry Ellis?
Oh, yeah, Perry Ellis?
I think it was Perry Ellis. There's always is it not Perry Ellis?
I don't think so.
Now it's gonna ruin me. Yeah, Perry Ellis.
Oh,
Perry Ellis at Kansas. Perryellis. Perry Ellis.
Yes, my apologies.
At Kansas. Matter of fact, they have his an NBA clip here. He actually looks younger in the NBA than he did at Kansas. There's always a few of those guys where it's how are you getting your 4th degree? How are you still here? And then there's a couple guys that are didn't you play in the McDonald's All-American game yesterday? How are you? You need the mixture. You need them both. And if UNC brings back R.J. Davis and Harrison Ingram, they can be the wise advice givers, and they have the Ian Williams. They actually have a nice little recruiting class coming in that can be the didn't you play in the McDonald's All-American game yesterday squad.
And then, with Duke, with Foster coming back, it's experience with
Foster,
and especially Roach as well.
Yep. Roach would be the true white beard of the group.
Yes.
And then you'd have Tyrese Proctor and Foster, and then obviously all of half the McDonald's All-American game roster. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Want to tell you about what's going on over at the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. The Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, you walk in the door, it's over to the right. They have the unique gifts. They have the vibe. They have a whole mess of and that's not the right word, a whole wide assortment of timepieces available for you to look at and purchase over there. But I want to talk about what happens when you walk in Bailey's Fine Jewelry Village District location and turn left. Because on the left, they have an Omega boutique, brand new, opened in mid-February with a grand opening launch party. I was there. It is the second largest Omega boutique of its kind in the entire country. I've been hyping up because it's my favorite watch, the Speedmaster. I'm gonna go somewhere else with this one. The Seamaster. It is famous for being on the wrist of a very famous and well-known movie spy. Yes, the one you're thinking of. It's classy. It's cool. You can dive with it. Literally, it's a dive watch. You can go down underwater. It still works. The mechanics of it are unbelievable. The look of it is pure class. Go ahead and check it out. It's all at the Omega Boutique, located inside of Bailey's Fine Jewelry, Raleigh's Village District location. The Omega Boutique, it is truly, truly, truly special. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the starting five, including a special night for 3 young Canes coming up tonight.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina.
He scores! Dmitry Orlov picks the corner, and the Canes take a 2-1 lead.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Second chance, they score! Jesper Fast knocks it home.
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
There are truck months, and then there are truck months. This Ram Truck Month at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington is one you won't want to miss out on. Right now, you can get 20% off a new 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn. Get off your keister and get to Heister for your shiny new 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn at 20% off. We'll serve it up with personalized customer service from our team dedicated to providing a seamless buying experience. Hurry to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
Is your heating and air system ready for hot weather? Call Newcomb & Company today to schedule a routine maintenance and ensure your system is operating at peak performance. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs for HVAC and plumbing work. Newcomb & Company has served the area as a Carrier Factory Authorized dealer for more than 3 generations. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company and Carrier. Your comfort is our business.
To tell you that Keno picks 20 winning numbers, we wrote a winning number of our own.
Hit it, boys. You pick up to 10. Keno picks 20. It's easy to play for a whole lot of money.
Winning numbers are everywhere with Keno from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win a prize range from 1 in 3.86 to 16.63. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get 3 rooms Zero Resified starting at $105, and if you get your air ducts cleaned, they'll clean your dryer vent for free. Visit ZeroResNC.com and book your appointment today.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the RMA 460V lawnmower battery set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. With AK30 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
Pulling up to Mickey D's just for drinks? Oh yeah, that's me. Nothing extra, just perfection and a straw. Coming in hot for the coldest cups on the block. Because there are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's.
Now get an ice cold lemonade, frozen Coca-Cola, or iced coffee. Any size for just $1.79.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Shoots, he scores!
Go to GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. Another warm afternoon out there with temperatures in the 80s. We'll have a couple of showers and storms early on tonight, then mostly cloudy and mild with a low temperature of 62. A few passing showers on Wednesday with a high temperature of 82.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 63 points today to 37,798.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting five here on The Drive, and as always, we start with number 5. The Canes are playing tonight against Columbus. It is the regular season finale. There are a couple streaks that are ending, right? You look at some like what is it? Seth Jarvis has scored multiple points in however many straight games.
Yeah.
Sebastian Aho had a chance at 90 points. Doesn't look like he's going to get there. The reason why I can say that is because they're both not expected to play.
Yeah, I think it's official. They're not playing.
It is. Do you think that popped into Rod Brendamore's brain at all?
I don't think so, no.
Because who is it? Is it Burns that has the streak of games played?
Yeah, Burns hasn't missed a game in like 10 years or whatever it is.
He's in the lineup.
He is.
So you consider that streak? You don't consider the other milestones? Where do you draw the line, Dennis?
Where do you
draw the line?
Well, here's the thing. You could say Seth Jarvis has not missed a game. He played all 82 games last season. He's played 81 this year. You could say, well, he could have an Ironman streak, but no, he's going to rest today. That's fine.
You don't think that came into any kind of?
Probably not. I mean, these guys don't have like contract incentives generally.
No, but pride. They're a little competitive.
Yeah, I think.
I don't think Cal Ripken Jr. got any extra money for playing in a billion trillion games.
No, he didn't.
I don't think Burns does either.
I honestly, if you were to ask those guys, all right, man, would you rather like get 90 points or you want to be fully rested for a cup run?
If you phrase it like
that. Well, that's what it is. That's what it is tonight. That's the situation.
Would you? That's what I do with like my 3-year-old son. Would you like to eat this vegetable with all of the nutrients and it's so tasty, or this snack? He sees right through it. He looks at me.
Of course.
The snack, please. I want that one.
I'll take that snack.
I want that one.
Please and thank you.
And don't try to get me with that vegetable again. No, he does eat well. But the cool part about all those guys taking the day off, all those guys electing to be rested for the postseason, is we do get to see some debuts. Jackson Blake, Bradley Nadeau, high prospects for the Canes, signed their entry-level deals not long ago. They will be active today. They'll be skating in their first NHL game. Scott Morrow, another highly thought-of prospect, signed his entry-level deal a week and a half ago. He is going to get his second appearance in an NHL game. Here's Jackson Blake on getting into the lineup.
Exciting for sure. Obviously, you dream of playing your first game in the NHL as a kid, and for it to become reality tonight is super emotional for me and my family, and I can't wait.
I saw that Jackson Blake's having like his parents, a couple of his siblings come in. It's a cool moment. It is a very cool moment.
Yeah. Crazy to think that these guys, their stuff's probably still in their dorm rooms at where they just finished their college seasons.
I mean, they might be like
legit. I mean, like being
walking
dead serious
in graduation next month. Like,
yeah,
or hopefully not walking in graduation.
Well,
next
I mean,
month.
these guys all left early, so
Yeah.
no worries on that one. Like Nadeau just finished his freshman year. Blake just finished his sophomore year. Morrow just finished his sophomore.
You're right. I wasn't even thinking. They're not even. They're not there yet. But they were in college like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
playing for their college teams like not long ago. I kind of wish other sports were that way. If like Donovan Clingan was then playing in the play-in game tonight for like
the Lakers or something like that. Yeah.
Like he was drafted 2 years ago, won 2 titles with UConn, then graduates or then decides to move on, and he's got to go play for the Pelicans tonight, and he's rim defending. Like, why not? It's kind of cool. I kind of like it. Happens in baseball sometimes. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen.
The Olympic Basketball USA roster was revealed. I don't know what the motivation is. Every third Olympics, the best players in the world go, let's take this one really, really seriously for the United States. Then the next 2, it's like, I hope we can win, and then they load up. Here's the list. LeBron James, who has not participated since 2012. Steph Curry, who has never participated in a U.S. Olympic team. Joel Embiid, who has never participated in a U.S. Olympic team. Kevin Durant, who has. Jason Tatum, who has. Devin Booker, Tyrese Halliburton, Anthony Edwards, Drew Holiday, Bam Adebayo, and Anthony Davis. And they're keeping one spot open. It's smart to keep one spot open. That is a heck of a USA roster. I'm not super jacked to watch the basketball at the Olympics because I'm like, we see those guys, right? I'm going to watch international team handball. I never see those guys. I don't know what they do for the 3.5 years between Olympics, but I'm darn sure I'm going to watch them now. But I do think there is something cool when we go full dream team and we put our most famous, brightest stars out there and let them go run wild. Steve Kerr is going to be the coach. Tyronn Lue, Eric Spoelstra, and Gonzaga's Mark Few will serve as their assistants. There is a Duke player in Jason Tatum, looking for other connections. I don't see it. Steph Curry, do we count him as connection to
state of North Carolina? Went to Davidson. Come on now, absolutely.
He's not the triangle.
I know.
But we count him.
Well, I know that big performance he had in the NCAA tournament was here at PNC Arena, so.
Okay.
See, there it is.
Stamp it.
Count
Local
it.
guy from the triangle. Born in Akron, raised in Charlotte. Triangle guy because he had a big performance in PNC. Claiming him.
Davidson Wildcats. Shout out to the Wildcats.
Do you know what else I'm excited for the Olympics?
What's that?
Gold Zone.
Gold Zone?
They're doing Red Zone. You know Red Zone for
NFL?
for
football? Yeah.
So they're doing Gold Zone where they're just going to send you to whatever the most clutch, most exciting Olympic thing is going on in any event.
Oh, okay. So we're late in that handball matchup.
Yeah.
Boom,
handball,
we're going there.
Boom, go there. All right, we have the end of the 1,600 meter. Boom, we go there because, the first 3 laps of the 1,600 meter are just kind of them running. And then you watch them jockey and sprint to the finish. And
okay.
All right, we got to cut over here to diving because they're going to try a wild synchronized diving. All right, no time for that. We got to go over to
we're in the 90th minute of the soccer match. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm for it. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Interesting. All right. I like that idea.
And then they're going to have to show the first 4 minutes of the basketball because the last 4, it's going to be USA's up 60.
We hope.
With that roster, we should. And Paolo Banchero, Joel Embiid, all these guys, they had to choose for this Olympics whether they were going to play for USA or another country, dual citizens. They all chose USA. So that's addition by subtraction. Ended up hurting another team. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
ESPN has a documentary they announced coming out soon on Stuart Scott. Speak of connections to the triangle.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, actually, this is obviously the documentary is going to be about Stuart Scott's rise through media. He worked at WRAL.
Yep.
There's a lot of people that their checks are signed by the same people as us that have personal interaction stories with Stuart Scott, which is pretty cool. The documentary is obviously going to be about his cultural impact on sports and sports media and everything else. I think for people of my age, and you're probably in the same age bracket, Dennis, is the dude was just cool.
Oh, yeah. He made SportsCenter fun.
It's like, and I can't emphasize enough, sometimes journalists, national media, like there's this whole crew that reps Syracuse, this whole crew that reps Northwestern, and sometimes I'm like, come on, all right, come off it. When he repped UNC, it was the coolest thing ever. Like he just, to use one of his terms, cooler than the other side of the pillow. And like,
booyah!
Yeah, the first time you heard that, you're like, it's genius. The other side is cooler.
Like, it's so true.
It is. Stuart Scott documentary, I don't know when it's dropping, like day of, time of. I'll be watching it. Day of, time of. As long as we're not on air. And if we are, then at 6 o'clock I'll be watching.
Exactly. Tape it.
Yeah, it'll be that quick because his impact on sports and sports media is felt in a billion different directions. Not just booyah, but that's part of it. There was, where was it? Was it? I think it was ESPN Zone. Remember those restaurants?
Mm-hmm.
There was an ESPN Zone that had a wall. The whole like wallpaper pattern was catchphrases.
Yeah,
and it was all catchphrases from like SportsCenter. When I tell you 3/4 of them were Stuart Scott, and they had to kind of like pretend that the other 25% were catchphrases. It was like everybody knew all of the ones that Stuart Scott used, and then there was a couple from like Dan Patrick and the rest of the crew. But I don't even think Stuart Scott was trying occasionally. He would just talk the way he talked, and then the next day at school, everyone would be saying it at recess because Stuart Scott said it, so it must be cool.
He was just unapologetically himself.
Exactly.
And that, yeah.
In a time where it wasn't easy for a bunch of reasons for him to do that and be embraced for it.
For sure. By the way, like you said, he went to the University of North Carolina, graduated from there, and his resting place is actually here in Raleigh, at Raleigh Memorial Park.
And gosh, I mean, get the tissues ready for the end of the doc.
Oh gosh, yeah.
His SB speech with his daughters. It's going to be a great doc. It's going to be a great doc. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
First thing I want to highlight is former Duke player Paolo Banchero. There's a lot of talk about the NBA popping up because the playoffs are getting started. The play-in tournament's drumming up some buzz. We just talked about the Olympic roster being announced. So there's a lot of reasons to be talking about the NBA. I'm not hearing enough Paolo Banchero. Youngest player ever to lead his team in points, rebounds, assists. Took a team that was the Orlando Magic, by the way, drafted number 1 overall 2 drafts ago. They were horrendous before he got there. They're the 5 seed in the East. They're not even messing with the play-in game. They're like, we're good. We got it. See ya. He deserved, like people talk about, oh, so-and-so needs to get his flowers. So-and-so needs to get his respect. Put some respect on Paolo Banchero's name for what he and the Magic have done. And it's weird because normally guys that are drafted first overall, they get all the hype, right? Normally guys that are drafted first overall, we're like, all right, we get it. For some reason, he's not getting that love from everybody. So I just wanted to say his name out loud for you one time. Also, the play-in games start tonight. These play-in games are, essentially for Golden State and Sacramento. It's actually not even essentially for Golden State and Sacramento. It's a elimination game. This is game 7. Just because it's game 1 doesn't mean it's not game 7. You know what I mean? For the Lakers and the Pelicans, it's the easiest way to get out of this mess. And then tomorrow night, Miami at Philly, Atlanta at Chicago. I don't have to like what the play-in games represent, and by the way, I don't, to also recognize that they are good television, right? It's I believe, cheap. I believe it cheapens the regular season. I believe it's artificially kind of not authentically creating high stress. It's like you know what it is? I'm trying to think of the name of the show. I haven't actually watched it, but I imagine what this is. The show 911. Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
Where it seems like every day they have to write some crazier example of why like the stakes are super high.
Yes.
It just gets more and more nuts, more and more crazy. Like each episode, it's like the building's on fire is episode 1. By like season 3, it's like The building is on fire. The bridge has collapsed. The tree has fallen down. This has happened, and we need to save it all by evening because you have to be at your granddaughter's graduation.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
And if you don't do all that, the water supply will be contaminated.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a meteor coming towards Earth that you have to go up there and get Bruce Willis to drill a hole in.
Exactly. Got to make that 800 feet.
Gotta. So it gets like the playoffs when there's a natural build to a Game 7. It feels like there's deservedly high stakes. When you just come out of the regular season and go straight to a elimination game, it doesn't feel like it's there's been enough building. It's like the stakes shouldn't be this high, at least not yet. But I'm still probably gonna watch.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's artificial, but that's all we got. It's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
Go one!
Actually, I'll watch the Canes tonight. What am I talking about?
Yeah, seriously.
Got to see the new guys play.
The final preseason game of the year.
Is that what you're calling it?
I mean, basically, let's call it what it is. It's a preseason roster that they're rolling out there tonight. And you know what? That's okay.
And do you know why they're doing it?
To
get ready for the Islanders in round 1. The Islanders coming to PNC Arena. We'll find out. Do we know yet if it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, when they're going to get this thing started?
By all accounts, it looks like it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. The NHL is scheduling games for Saturday or Sunday. Nothing confirmed on this. I'm not reporting this, but there's a belief that it'll be sometime on Sunday.
All right.
Sometime Sunday.
Making us wait longer.
It's been kind of sort of leaked that the Bruins are going to play on
rumors
that the Bruins and the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to be playing on Saturday and Monday. My guess, with the Rangers being the top team in the East, that the Rangers will also play Saturday to open the playoffs. I'm hypothesizing here, but which means you also don't want to have the Toronto Maple Leafs playing on the same day as the Bruins and the Rangers, and you want them to be primetime hockey in Canada, which means it'll be Sunday evening, which means you have a Eastern Conference game Sunday afternoon, maybe somewhere just afternoon on Sunday, which would mean the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm hypothesizing.
That's a lot of questions that we're just asking. We're just
curious. I have nothing
think?
confirmed, none of that stuff. Trust me, I have asked some different people, have not heard anything official as of yet.
Just ask yourself if that makes sense to you.
That makes sense to me.
The Canes are playing the Islanders. We listen. The Islanders, they're a team that have gotten progressively better as the season has gone along. They're for all of the Canes peaking at the right time. The Islanders are moving in that direction also. I still think the Canes are, when you look at the rosters, top to bottom, the better team, the more talented team. They should win. I think it's a good matchup. I think the Islanders attack, the Islanders forwards, while very talented, what they do is a bit predictable. And the way the Canes play their defense, it's exhausting. It's man-to-man. It's all the effort in the world. It's nice to know what the guy who you're marking is trying to do, right? It's nice to know what their end goal is. And I think when you look at the Islanders roster, you kind of know, all right, this guy's trying to set up teammates. This guy's trying to score. This guy's trying to do this thing. This guy's trying to go in front of the net. This guy's trying to snipe. Like, when there is that, maybe a little less versatility, more of a, they're not trying to be jacks of all trades, master of none. They're trying to be masters of one and do it so well you can't stop it. I trust the Carolina defense when their players are trying to do their one thing to be able to stop it. Is there the opportunity for somebody like Sorokin to steal one? Yeah. I mean, anytime you have a talented goalie in net, you have to be worried about it. But as I said earlier, that's why you brought in Gensel. Gensel is what, 58 points in 58 games in the postseason?
Yep, 34 of those goals.
Well, let's 1 point, 1 game. I like the way that sounds, Gensel. Keep it at, 2. Why not?
Why not?
1.4. Why not? But you look at that top line. I am so excited for what Aho with Jarvis on one side and Gensel on the other is going to be able to do in this postseason. we're at some point this week going to have to go back and look at our preseason predictions for the Canes. I'll give you a preview of one of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I had Aho going for 100 points. Didn't get there.
No.
Felt like at times he could have, should have, and was on pace to. Didn't end up getting there. But I stand by the fact that he is as good as a 100-point scorer. I stand by the fact that he is the most underrated superstar in the NHL. But guess how you become rated, right? If he's underrated, guess how you become properly rated or overrated? You show up in the postseason and win big games and in elimination games if you're faced with them, lead a unit that is the difference. I want to see Aho with Jarvis on one side, Gensel on the other. No excuses, right? You've been given all of the resources. Go make it happen. And I want to see Jarvis finishing. I want to see him doing the hustle thing. I want to see Gensel being the clutch scorer that he's brought in for. Notice what I'm talking about this. I'm not even bringing up the Islanders.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about the Canes. I think this first-round matchup is about, coaches always say it. It's not about them. It's about us. Focus on us. Do what we do. Play our game. It's a cliche for a reason. I think that's what this first round ends up being for the Canes. If they play their game, yes, you pay attention to the scouting report, and it's not like you're playing some generic brand where you're like, we're not even watching film. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if they go out and play as well as they can play, the Islanders shouldn't be much more than, oh yeah, that team we beat in the first round.
Again.
You want to bring that up?
Again.
Beat them last year 4-2.
Yeah.
You put it on me earlier. Over under 4-2.
I say Canes in 6.
You say Canes in 6?
Canes in 6.
Why do they drop 2?
I think Sorokin steals you a game. I think steals. I'm talking like 41 saves and they win like 2-1 in overtime. Like steals a game.
That is earns a steal.
I would say he does that. I think Canes.
We win 4-3. We get no hit in the second game.
Exactly, basically. I think Sorokin steals you a game, and just straight up over a 7-game stretch, the Islanders will just, in a game where both teams play well, Islanders might just win you 3-2.
I think
beat you 3-2, I should say. And then again, Sorokin steals you 1. I think it's 4-2.
For some teams, I don't think it matters if it's 4-2, 4-3, 4-1. For the Canes, because of the system they play and how tiring it is, I do think you want to squeeze the throat when you get the chance.
Oh, for sure.
Right? The time between series is important for them to stay fresh throughout a long postseason run. 16 wins. They need 16 wins.
By the way, the Islanders, their last 10 games, 8-1-1. So 8 wins in their last 10 games, just like the Carolina Hurricanes, by the way.
Look at that. Peaking at the right time.
Peaking at the right time.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Want to tell you about my friends over at Window Nation. It's critical right now to check the status of your home's windows. I don't have to tell all of you, right? It's getting hot. Yesterday was a roaster. Just walk into the car, you're like, I think I'm going to sweat. I need to change my shirt. And when that happens, guess what else is being tested? Your windows. Are they holding in the air conditioning? Are they keeping that cool air in, making it comfortable for you to sleep, making it comfortable for you to live, while also keeping that hot air out? If the seals are broken, you look at the caulking, if that's not holding up, if the window, the actual glass isn't tested and treated properly, you might be paying a whole bunch of money to try to cool down the outside. And again, like I said, it's roasting out there. You're not going to do it. Window Nation can come out to your house. They can give the free evaluation, the no obligation quote. It is a conversation. They come out and talk to you about your options and how they can help out. And right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit on that, by the way. Save as much as you possibly can. Plus, 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 24 months. Window Nation's professional installation teams have over 10 years of experience and can install your new windows in 1 day or less. Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty. Take down this number to give them a call, 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION. Or visit windownation.com to schedule. That's windownation.com to schedule now. Right now, we need to get our contestants for the numbers game on the line, meaning the prize for today, $50 gift card to the Mix Bottle Shop and Bar. You need to check out The Mix Bottle Shop and Bar in Raleigh. You can chill inside or outside with one of their amazing craft cocktails, craft beer, and unique wine selection, located between Sharkey's and Warargy in Durley Corners. Check it all out. Again, that is The Mix Bottle Shop and Bar in Raleigh. We need 2 contestants for the numbers game. Call in now if you want to play. 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Numbers game next.
We were born ready.
Let's go, Hurricanes! The Stanley Cup playoffs.
Burns, rebound, score, Seth Jarvis.
Let's go, Kane!
Dean wide open, rebound, and what a save by Anderson.
Let's go,
Orloff settles, shot right on, gets it with a second try, swim against it, they score!
The win or go home season arrives soon. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Enjoy the ride.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or a 2 bird dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
What are you doing?
I'm training for the new Ultimate Dash Scratch-Offs. I could get a chance to dash through a warehouse full of prizes.
That explains the shopping cart.
Plus, I could win up to $2 million in cash.
And that explains the tuxedo.
I'm chafing.
Feel the rush with new Ultimate Dash Scratch-Offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.78. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Terms and conditions apply.
Sick of the same old Friday night? Get out of your rut and get up to Roxborough for this. You kick back and enjoy. They race for cash prizes. Everyone has a great time at Roxborough Motorsports Park. Come out Friday nights for Freaky Friday. Gates open at 5. Races start at 6. Roxborough Motorsports Park. 65 years in business and still bringing folks from all over for weekly races, dirt drags, live music, and more. Now it's your turn to discover the excitement. Check out this week's schedule at RoxboroughMotorsportsPark.com.
Looking for a great deal on golf gear? Then swing by Global Golf's newly remodeled store and see why we're North Carolina's largest pre-owned club store. This week, receive an additional 15% off pre-owned clubs and great deals on bags, shoes, and apparel. You'll also find the latest from TaylorMade, Callaway, Titleist, and more. This Saturday, save even more at our sidewalk sale. It's all happening this week through Saturday at Global Golf, located in North Raleigh, 7320 ACC Boulevard. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Having pain like that and not knowing how you caused it and for how long it's lasting, it's debilitating.
QC Kinetics patient Diane Richardson hated not being able to live her life to the fullest due to joint pain. But then she called QC Kinetics, where regenerative treatments helped her pain go away.
The result was phenomenal.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in using natural biologics to restore and repair damaged joint tissue.
This was a great alternative for me as opposed to going in and possibly having surgery or something else. There was no downtime, and that's what I love. My life is too busy for me to be sidelined.
If you're tired of constant pain from arthritis or injury, don't think the old treatments are the only treatments. Discover regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics.
Just to feel good and know that I'm out of pain is the best thing ever. I'm able to do everything that I want to do.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. The prize for today, a $50 gift card to the Mix Bottle Shop and Bar. You need to check out the Mix Bottle Shop and Bar in Raleigh. You can chill inside or outside with one of their amazing craft cocktails, craft beer, and unique wine selections. Located between Sharkey's and Warargi in Durley Corners. We have a battle of Fuquay-Varina on the line today. We have Tommy in Fuquay-Varina. We have Lucius in Fuquay-Varina. So here's what we'll do. Every day we ask a question. We pick our favorite answer to see who gets to go first. Tommy, we'll start with you since you're on line one. Tommy, what is the best part about Fuquay-Varina?
Breweries. All the beer they have.
Breweries. I misheard you. I thought you said birds. I was like, oh, you're big into bird watching? Like some cardinals coming through? Breweries. All right, cool. Great answer. You got a big head nod from my producer, Dennis. Lucius in Fuquay-Varina. What's the best part about Fuquay-Varina?
I mean, I like Aviator and all that. I mean, we have all that, but I'm going to say youth sports. I mean, I have daughters that's coming up. They play softball. I mean, I had one daughter that won the pitch hit and run from Scott's the year when the All-Star game was in San Diego. So, I mean, I'm going to say youth sports in Fuquay.
I am a massive proponent of youth sports in every community. So Lucius gets to go first. Tommy, your answer was good for a different reason as well. But Lucius struck a chord with me. So Lucius gets to go first. You ready to roll?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead and pick your category. NFL, the I's have it. These are all players whose last name starts with I. NFL starts with H. These are all players whose last name starts with H. NBA, current players only. And NHL, Canes and Whalers only.
I'm going to go with NFL H, I guess.
All right. These are all players whose last name starts with H. I will give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number. There's 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No, go ahead.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Franco Harris, Pittsburgh Steelers.
32.
Correct. Taysom Hill, New Orleans Saints.
2.
Incorrect. Marvin Harrison, Indianapolis Colts.
88.
Correct. Hunter Henry, New England Patriots.
Pass.
Kareem Hunt, Cleveland Browns.
35.
Incorrect. Taysom Hill, New Orleans Saints.
9.
Incorrect.
No,
Hunter Henry, New England Patriots.
No, skip again.
Kareem Hunt, Cleveland Browns.
God almighty, man. I'm a Falcons fan. Man, that Patriots question, I keep telling you, I hate the Patriots.
You hate the Patriots. That would have been a decent
Patriots.
answer to get you to go first, too. Wouldn't have been an answer to the question, but it would have worked. You got Franco Harris with 32. Taysom Hill, I feel like you were close, number 7.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm a Falcons fan, so, man, I like to see him when he hits the turf.
That's another good answer. Marvin Harrison, you got that one right with 88. Hunter Henry, number 85. That's the Patriot you don't like. And Kareem Hunt with the Browns wears number 27. Is he still there? I think he might be a free agent right now.
Is he?
He's not still. He was there last year. So anyway, you got 2. Solid showing. Sit on the line. We'll see if it holds up.
All right. Thank you.
That goes to Tommy in Fuquay-Varina. Tommy, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead and choose your category. NFL, the I's have it. All about players with the last name that starts with I. NBA, current players only, or NHL, Canes and Whalers only?
NFL, I.
All right. All players whose last name starts with I. Same rules apply. I will give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number. Answer as quickly as you can because there's 30 seconds on the clock, and you do have one pass if you need it. Any last-second questions?
No, sir.
All right. Your time will begin when you hear the horn.
All right.
Michael Irvin, Dallas Cowboys.
Mike Wilbon?
Michael Irvin, Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, 88.
Correct. Rocket Ishmael, Carolina Panthers.
25.
Incorrect. Mark Ingram, New Orleans Saints.
32.
Incorrect. Rocket Ismail, Carolina Panthers.
30.
Incorrect. Mark Ingram, New Orleans Saints.
28.
Correct. Chris, was that Mark Ingram a complete random pull? All right. You got 2. Unfortunately, tie goes to whoever goes first. So the winner is going to go ahead and be Lucius by way of youth sports, getting him to go first.
Yes, sir.
I'll quickly, just for those of you playing at home, Mike Irvin, number 88, he got that one. Rocket Ismail with the Panthers were number 81. Mark Ingram, 28, 22, and 14 with the Saints. So if you're going to be throwing random numbers out there, that was a good one to do it because there are a bunch of different options. Lucius, you are the winner. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You get the gift card, and hopefully you get to enjoy some youth sports coming up. So
I will.
There you go. Sit on the line, and Dennis will get the info he needs to make sure you get your gift card.
All right. You guys have a good one.
You too. That is a $50 gift card to the Mix Bottle Shop and Bar. You need to check out the Mix Bottle Shop and Bar in Raleigh. You can chill inside or outside with one of their amazing craft cocktails, craft beer, and unique wine selection. Located between Sharkey's and Warargy in Durham Corners. There's something coming up later this week. Thursday is when it's happening, the 10K playoff payout. I'm going to ask all of you to pay attention to our social media over the next, week or so, because we're going to be putting out the videos and everything that comes along with it. And, there's a chance somebody out there can win 10K. That right there should get everybody's ears perked up. We're going to be a part of it. We're going to have some cool stuff going on. But it is presented by your Carolina Ford dealers. If you want to check out a new Ford SUV or truck, Carolina Ford dealers can help you out with it. It is going to be a really cool event for those participating, and we're going to try to turn it into a very cool event, Facebook Live and a few other social media things for even those of you that are not participating because, game shows are famous for a reason, right? People like to win stuff, and people like to watch people win stuff. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, college football spring transfer portal is now open. I'm opening the transfer portal with one very, very simple request. Don't panic, okay? Just don't panic yet. That is similar advice that you might get from my partners at Capital Financial Advisory Group. Coach Pete has been revolutionizing the retirement planning game for decades. So don't panic. Just give him a call. He can use his GPI index, Coach Pete can, to help you maximize consistent growth, protect your money from year to year, and build an income switch for you to flip on when you need to and want to. With the help of Coach Pete's financial fill-up, you will receive guaranteed income for life. Even in the face of challenges like long-term care or losing a spouse, you will still receive that check. It all starts with Coach Pete and his fantastic fiduciary planning team at Capital Financial, analyzing your current financial plan to help you build in the 3 core components of a proper plan. This way, you can find the confidence to retire with the clarity and peace of mind you deserve. Call or text today to get your very own GPI index score and see how this valuable tool can work for you now and along your journey through retirement. Call right now and Coach Pete will do this all of it at no cost. As long as you tell him I sent you, right? You just let him know that Tim from The Drive sent you, and he'll hook you up. Call 800-691-3215. That's 800-691-3215. Let him know I sent you. Or text Tim, T-I-M, to 600-700 if you are more of a texter. That is Tim, T-I-M, to 600-700. We'll be back with that transfer portal conversation coming up next.
Dauntless Transmissions has been the trusted transmission shop in Raleigh for more than 27 years. The experts at Dauntless Transmission are dauntless when it comes to caring for your vehicle. Whether that means a total transmission rebuild, complex engine or brake service, or just a routine tune-up, your vehicle will be dauntless when they're done with it. Visit DauntlessTransmissions.com. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
Dauntless is currently looking for skilled auto technicians to join the Dauntless team. Visit DauntlessTransmissions.com/careers to apply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts carries the best parts for your next repair. If your car isn't stopping like it used to, Brake Best Select pads and rotors can restore your braking system performance. Shop Brake Best Select products exclusively at O'Reilly. And visit your new Bunn O'Reilly Auto Parts on Main Street next to Hardee's.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. There are truck months, and then there are truck months. This Ram Truck Month at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington is one you won't want to miss out on. Right now, you can get 20% off a new 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn. Get off your keister and get to Heister for your shiny new 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn at 20% off. We'll serve it up with personalized customer service from our team dedicated to providing a seamless buying experience. Hurry to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. Our fellowship-trained orthopedists do it all. General, sports, pediatric, joint replacement, fractures, spine, prevention, advanced diagnostics, progressive treatments, minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, and more. Visit wakemed.org/wakeortho and get back your life.
The greatest American rock and roll band in history, Aerosmith, present Peace Out, the Farewell Tour. Aerosmith, with special guests the Black Crowes. PNC Arena, Raleigh, February 20th, 2025. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Aerosmith with the Black Crowes, the Farewell Tour, Peace Out.
Sports betting has arrived in North Carolina, and Underdog is entering the game. That's right. North Carolina gets Underdog Sportsbook first. Dennis Cox, my friends over at Underdog. Underdog has been working hard behind the scenes to create a sportsbook app using their own technology that caters to you, the sports fan. And that's where Underdog Fantasy makes things simple for you. They are creating an experience for you, the user, and that way you can actually help shape the future of the app. I use Underdog, and it's simple and easy to use. There's a lot of different easy features for you to follow, and that's the reason why I use Underdog Sports app. Download the Underdog Sports app on iOS or Android. Sign up with the promo code Dennis, my name, and use your first bet mulligan, which returns up to $1,000 as bonus funds if your first bet loses. That's Underdog Sportsbook, promo code Dennis. Must be 21 or over to gamble and present in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov or call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply and can be found in the Underdog Sportsbook app.
Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan. Help protect your information with LifeLock. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's Boost Mobile here with a great deal to keep you connected and help you make the most of your tax refund. When you switch to Boost, you can get a Samsung Galaxy A15 5G or Moto G Stylus 5G for free. We're here to bring you the best phones on America's largest 5G networks so you can get after it. Switching is easy. Just head to your local Boost Mobile store for a free Samsung Galaxy A15 5G or Moto G Stylus 5G. Requires port-in, auto-pay, and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating stores for details.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Tuesday. Canes play tonight. It is a hockey night in Carolina.
Let's go.
And you can hear it all right here on 99.9 The Fan. Will you hear Aho? No. Jarvis? Nope. Pesci? Nah.
Nope.
Freddie?
Nope.
Gensel? No.
Nope.
Burns?
Maybe.
Oh, Burns, yes. Who am I thinking of? This is why I use notes. This is why I don't go off the top. There's someone else that I'm thinking. Slavin, no.
Nope. Svech?
No. Now I forget who I've said. This is the point where like you start saying like, who's won a national championship and a Super Bowl in their careers, and you go like, all right, and you start listing a couple, and then you start listing them again, and you're like, wait, no.
Say that one.
My point is that it's the last game of the regular season. There's going to be some fresh faces in there playing for the Canes because everybody that we just listed, other than Burns, who will be playing, is resting and getting ready for the postseason, which will start this upcoming weekend against the Islanders. Right now, another part of sports that is happening like as we speak is the spring transfer portal college football window is open. I can't say this enough. Don't panic. I can't say this enough. I hate transfer windows. Until college coaches can only change jobs in certain windows, then I think players should be able to transfer whenever they want. Shouldn't be able to play for 2 schools in the same year, but if you want to transfer, go nuts. That's a conversation for a different day. Second of all, the transfer portal is ruthless. The transfer portal is talked down upon by so many. Players don't want to compete. Players are running to the NIL money. Players are abusing the system. I want to be clear on something. I've never found a single, and I played college football. Dennis played college sports, coached college sports, and I assume he would back me up on this. I've never seen a single part of college sports that college coaches weren't finding a way to take advantage of. They were going to cut corners. They were going to look for loopholes. The college coaches very rarely were the innocent bystanders just being taken advantage of in this whole racket.
I can neither confirm nor deny as a former college coach. Yes.
It's these players are how many times are we going to hear such and such insider spoke to so many coaches who said the players are only caring about NIL money. You know what also happens with the transfer portal? Players are told either directly or indirectly, you should probably hit the transfer portal. There's a reason why this window is opening right near the end of spring ball, because all spring ball nonverbal messages were being sent. What do you expect a junior or a senior to hang around when they played in every single game this fall, and then spring showed up and they didn't have a single rep with the ones? They didn't have a single rep with the starting lineup because you brought in some transfer during the last portal and they took their spot. And you went in for a meeting and coach said, just keep trying. We want you to compete. No, you're going to stay on the scout team, but yeah, we want you to try hard.
And there have been plenty of times where I know coaches who have said, look, you're not going to get above where you are right now. You can either stick with it, that's fine, but if you want to play, I'll help you find somewhere else to go.
And that's the honorable way to go about it.
Yeah, not every coach does that.
The dishonorable way is just to think, well, you have a lot of experience playing in games, so if I can somehow keep you around while giving you nothing, I'll do that. It comes down to who's getting reps with the first team. It comes down to stupid stuff like who's featured in the video put out by the team to sell season tickets. If you thought you were the starting running back, then you're on social media and you see some other running back like, I'll deliver the football with your tickets. It's coach, who is non-verbally told to hit the portal? It happens. Waves of transfers out of your program aren't always some sign that the coaches are getting taken for a loop. Sometimes it's the coaches taking the loop. Louisville, I saw this. Louisville is expected to have 5 offensive linemen hit the portal. 5 after spring ball. And I saw the rest of the ACC fans going, ha, 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 what a mess, Louisville. And I'm going, you think 5 hit the portal and the coaches had nothing to do with it? You think 5 hit the portal and the coaches haven't already spent those scholarships on someone else, some other position, something else? Do you know what I think is going to happen? I think there's going to be a wave of transfers out of NC State. Do you know why? because there were guys waiting their turn, and then State during the last transfer window brought in a quarterback 1, an RB1, an RB2, a wide receiver 2, a wide receiver 3, and a tight end 1 in the portal. That's one group. Grayson McCall expected to be the starting quarterback. Jordan Waters expecting to be the starting running back. Hollywood Smothers expected to be a depth running back, probably the backup. Noah Rogers expected to be wide receiver number 2. That's only because Casey Concepcion is a monster being wide receiver 1. Noah Rogers would be a wide receiver 1 for a bunch of teams. Wide receiver 3, Wesley Grimes from Wake Forest. Tight end 1, Justin Jolie from UConn. You can't be 100% veterans. If you have 1 or 2 years of eligibility left and your team's spending a whole bunch of NIL money to bring in guys at your position, I mean, you can call it selfish or you can call it smart to go test the waters somewhere else. It's the players that have limited eligibility. So they're going to do depth chart math. They're going to look around and go, wait, there's 2 guys with 3 years of eligibility left ahead of me on the depth chart. I only have 1 year of eligibility left. I could stick around and fight, which is what everybody wants them to do, right? Embrace competition and go beat them out for your job. But coach did just spend how many hundred, or our NIL collective did spend how many $100,000 on them? Do I really think that the writing on the wall isn't written in permanent ink on this one? Don't panic. In every situation in college sports that I've seen, aside from very few, probably quarterbacks and basketball players, every situation I've seen in college sports, the people pulling the strings behind the scenes are the coaches and the big money boosters. If you think the transfer portal is any different, you haven't been paying attention. Is there an occasional quarterback or basketball player, because they can impact winning in such a great way individually? Is there an occasional situation where they recognize their power and throw it around a little bit? Yes. But I overwhelmingly think when guys commit to a place, they want to stay there. Right? When they commit to a place out of high school, they want to become a legend at that school. They're not thinking, oh, goodness, I hope I don't play my freshman year and then I have to leave to go somewhere else. And going back to it, I hate transfer windows.
Speaking of the transfer window and transfer portals, I know I'm not sure we mentioned it earlier today, but reserve forward Ernest Ross for NC State basketball, because the transfer window is open for basketball, is entering the transfer portal. So Ernest Ross of NC State basketball entering the transfer portal. Also, former UNC and Georgetown wing Dontrez Styles has entered the transfer portal again. He's from Kinston. This according to Corey Smith of Pack Pride. On Monday, he apparently became a major target of NC State.
He was like a 13.6 or 7 rebound guy at Georgetown last year.
Yeah.
Didn't play much during his 2 years at UNC, but obviously was on the team. By
the way, Kevin Keats recruited him hard. Out of high school and out of the portal.
How brutal would it be for him going to the Dean Dome wearing red? Some competitors might like that sort of thing.
I don't mind a little drama.
Little revenge game. Little, you didn't play me enough, so now watch what I do with it game. Or UNC saying, this is why we didn't play you. There's that whole revenge thing going on there. But yes, the portal giveth, the portal taketh away. Ernest Ross, by the way, by all accounts, seems like a good dude. Great vibes. You could celebrated his team success. Wasn't really a part of it on the floor during games. Didn't play much. But as far as practice goes and everything, obviously a part of that program, and everybody seemed to like him.
Being in the locker room during the Final Four and things like that, or multiple times throughout the season, he got along with everybody. You could tell, and everyone really loved that guy.
He's one that NC State's probably very, very much rooting to find success elsewhere.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, coming to a close here. Don't forget, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. We are constantly putting out content on our YouTube channel, videos and giveaways and everything else. So 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. We would very much appreciate it if you become a part of our community there. Overdrive is coming up next, and we are going to talk a little Panthers action. The draft is just 9 days away. We are in the single digits. It's double digits for the Panthers. They don't have a first-round pick. But the draft is 9 days away, so we're going to get you set up with some Panthers talk. That's coming up next right here on Overdrive on 99.9 The Fan. It is a hockey night in Carolina. The game will be here on 99.9 later. Enjoy the game. Enjoy Overdrive. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's